Brothers, welcome! 1 year since my first video, can you believe? We're back in Diablo 2, but this time we're being carried all the way by other people. The rules are very simple. New act, new husband, and we're going all the way to hell. What could possibly go wrong? Well, the first thing that's going to go wrong is giving me the chance of naming a character. Carrie Hotter is born. I've got this exceptionally cool gothic sorceress skin. But unfortunately, the hiring policy means I'm not allowed to hire anything until I get to level 8, which is a long way away. So let's ask for directions in town, and let's find some experience. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. You know the way I love to troll people who are like, just get on with the video. No, I refuse to. You're going to have to sit and suffer. Luckily, there's never a danger of me dying in normal, so don't even worry about it for the first few chapters of this story. What I'm looking for? Experience shrines, ideally. Well, really, I'm just looking for shrines. Easy to access shrines, and we're really looking for poison shrines, because they're going to be our way of leveling up to level 8. Running all the way to the Stony Field, great placement there of a shrine as well. A pretty decent positioning of Rakanishio and friends as well, which could be good experience when we get up. First shrine we get is a fire shrine. I survived no problem there whatsoever. The plan is enchant, so it has quite a high mana cost levels, but it's that bonus damage, which is all pure fire damage, and it gets decent attack rating as well. So even though things might be fire immune at the very end of this, in hell difficulty, they'll still be benefiting from the attack rating. And it's the only way I'm really going to be useful in any way whatsoever, because I refuse to fight myself, because I'm a princess today. So let's scream through this. This beginning part took a lot longer than I wanted it to. A lot of shrines, unfortunately, are completely useless. Fire shrines, exploding shrines, all of them can really barely kill a fallen, especially at any difficulty other than 1. But look, this is what the combination we need. Experience shrine. I think we're playing on maybe players 4. All I need to do is click that poison shrine. Actually, easier said than done for someone at my skill level. I'm trying desperately to keep them around the poison shrine, because of course I want them all to die. But I need access to it, and I'm getting thumped. With 43 hit points, it's not very easy. No risk, really, for someone of my level of skill. But for the casual player, this could be heart-thumping stuff. Okay, we've got it. I kind of need to pull them all towards the clouds. Oh, that is absolutely perfect. Not only does that give that a huge amount of loot, but it also gets us quite a few level ups. We can spend our first few on some of the skills we need. We've got +1 in frozen armor already. So with that, we're up to level 2. Just a little bit of extra defense. We should probably get some of the prerequisites to enchant. There's nothing here really that we're going to go for. I mean, energy shield actually could be very interesting. That could be the way to do it. I've never really done energy shield before. And now, unfortunately, a lot of the early creatures refuse to give us experience. Now we've got up quite a few levels, and we do need to get to level 8. This felt like the perfect mix of creatures. Ideally, you just want these rogue warriors, but unfortunately the shrine was not nearly enough, and you can see quite how many shrines I was able to get through. I was rich with very expensive gems by the end of this, and a few nice stats on the Pelta Lunata. Do you know what? Without reading it, it's pretty difficult to remember, but it's got that extra block chance, which is very useful at low levels, although I'm going to need the dexterity to make the most of that, and a little bit of energy and vitality. Now I've lured Rakanishi all the way from his home in another map, just to try and maximize the amount of experience I'm going to get out of this one. And yeah, look, I was getting very wealthy during all of this with some pretty useless stuff, but it still wasn't enough. I still needed more. Poison shrine here. Finally, luckily, thank God, it took absolutely ridiculous amount of time.
Nobody cares, just level up normally, who cares?
Yeah, to be honest, I probably will take your advice next time, nerd. Minus 50 fire resist on Andario means we're going to go for a fire lady, Anor, named after Anor Londo, I'm sure, where all of the worst archers in humanity live. Die. And die. Let's start kitting her out. Oh, 3-socket hunter's bow is actually pretty nice to start the adventure off. And we actually have quite a few gems and things knocking around already. I don't know if I want to commit necessarily to using them too early on. Like, there's not a huge amount of benefit, I don't think, in using some of the really good gems we've got. I'd rather keep them in my stash until the end of the game, and then realise that I've not spent all the resources I've accumulated. So finally, we've got some interesting damage. So, I mean, I'm not overwhelmed. I think we're just going to put a lot of points into dexterity at this point, just to maximize block. I'm a very strong advocate of block chance in this game, and do really miss it. I mean, it's like a massive level of damage mitigation, but it does require a lot of dexterity. Wow, this shield looks pretty cool, actually. Chip topaz? Actually, probably worth putting that chip topaz straight in there. Straight in the bow, because we should get a longbow soon, and it's not too difficult to get a 3-socket longbow. What we're really doing at this point, the only real necessity at this point in the game is just to get enough experience. Come on, Anna. There's a lot of messing around going on. If she just stopped to fight, like literally nobody cares what you're doing. Still get a little bit cross about the mushrooms growing out of rocks there. Not possible. And it wouldn't be the beginning of Act 1 if I didn't gamble for a belt. Not sure I feel great about attacker takes damage of 1. That's better. Just because I don't want any... I mean, I'll completely change my mind, I'm sure, at some point during this. But I don't want thorns to be the deciding factor for any of the damage, really. I'm not doing anything here. I'm just standing around. Now, I never use a mercenary in any of my runs. And I see people doing challenge runs, and they say, oh, you know, all I need to do is do this, and then hope that so-and-so can tank for me. Mercenaries make the game so easy. That's part of the reason I'm doing this, is showcasing how easy this is going to be. Now, look, I might regret saying that at one point, but I'm not going to take it back until that point. So I think for the first 7 acts or so, we'll be fine. And then we'll get to maybe Act 3, Nightmare. And I'm dreading those Iron Wolves, I'll be honest already. But there's nothing perseverance and willpower and a huge amount of spare time can't defeat. Really, the reason why I showed that little ghost, he was very tough, actually, that ghostly skeleton. I felt like he needed a bit of time in the limelight, because he'd clearly been training. Completely forgot about the Den of Evil. Back we go. And what I forgot about is how frustrating it is trying to command your creatures to do something. That's not fair. I know she's got rights, but I treat her like hired help at this point. And yeah, it's annoying she doesn't just stop and fire at the creatures that need to be shot at, i.e. the people resummoning creatures over and over again. But with the euthanizing of Grandad there, I'm going to do the unthinkable. It's worth it in Act 1, to be honest, because 100 gold is a lot of gold. It adds up, right? So despite his many crimes, and look, immediately, as soon as he's out, people are coming for him for money that he owes them. Poor old Griswold. The man who's owed probably the most money of everyone. Through the magic of editing. And that wolf head business did not go well for him. Windshank the Sharp. I'm actually pretty decent tank at this point. 118 hit points is fine. But the block chance, you can see, is just working so well. So I can block the door. I was really cross about this. Look how great that animation looks. A little like bubbling froth. I'm guessing it's blood, of course. I mean, it looks great. Where are the bubbles, man? First fight against the Countess. Unimpressed. For a start, there are unattended torches and candles all over the place. No wonder it looks like it's in such a bad state. And this was cool. I was like, 3 goats on a bridge. Have they done that on purpose? 3 billy goat gruffs on a bridge. I'm sure it was coincidence. For some reason, that really tickled me. Now, I'm sure at this point you've watched all of my videos for the whole year, but I really liked it when we had a look at the roof. It's like they've done a great job. Act 1 looks incredible, if you ask me. I know Diablo 2 Remastered was on sale recently, so one on my Discord pointed it out to those that didn't own it, but man, if you haven't got it and it's on offer, it's like 12, 15 bucks or something, just get it. And then realize 81 minutes later on a challenge run, you still haven't got past the 3rd waypoint of the 1st act. Speedrun strats. I tell you what, I'm not willing or capable of speedrunning any game. So please don't ask me to do it. And look, 18 life. Most of you be like, oh, save and quit. Why? It's normal. I'm never going to die. It's simply not possible. At this point, you need confidence. Through the power of skill and maybe editing, I will never die on normal. Like, unbelievable that he's still in the game, this guy. Real, like... Yeah, I mean, this game was out in the late 90s, early 2000s, so stuff like that was a little bit more acceptable, clearly. And this little bit here, just want to have a look at that door. There is a little secret room here. It's a secret. There's not really much in there. That chest is actually quite interesting. I think we're going to have to go back and look at that. We'll pick up the goodies that you can kind of see through the grill. That chest, I'm sure that chest is unique to this little bit. Tell me if there's another chest that looks like that anywhere in the game. Stuff like that makes me sound mentally ill. I'm not, I promise. So enchant is what we're after. Unfortunately, it's a level 18 skill, and we almost can't be bothered in Act 1 to get to level 18. Just slam that door as loudly as we can, just to let everyone in there know that they're being invaded by a foreign entity. Look at this. The items are just rolling in. Is that 2 uniques already? We're laughing. 40 to life, but actually pretty solid. And Wrath Quarrel there. Wraith Quarrel. That's decent. Decent jump up. I tell myself every time, I need to stop umming and ahhing about rings. I mean, it's nice to get some magic find early on, because we clearly need it. But what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to change to Isolde here. I just saw Biggin's bonnet there, and I don't remember. I think I must have edited that out. Yeah, honestly, magic find here. I mean, it helps the fact that I was just spending so much time messing around here. But we aren't quite. I'm just showing that we're level 16, but already we've got Biggin's bonnet, Pelter, Lunata, and Bloodfist. So we are doing solidly. Now, as I know from having gone through all of this ordeal, there's a lot of unique items that we're going to be getting through at this one. So prepare yourself. Some that I've never seen before, I swear. It looks like the mother-in-law's got some friends over. Most of them horned. I said that right. Most of them divorced as well. But I'm trying here just to pick my fights. Oh, what are you doing, Isolde? Anor would not have done that, by the way. It's worth noting. So, damage is reduced from minions and hirelings. I should just call them hirelings. But hirelings and minions do reduce damage to bosses. And I think that actually scales with difficulty level as well. But they also take more damage. They take twice as much damage from bosses as they should do. I think, I get it's the idea of preserving the difficulty of the game and preventing runs like this really from being too feasible. But it is frustrating when, especially some of them, don't do that much damage anyway. But look, Andariel seems to be taking some decent damage. We've lured her out of her den into what looks like the toilet. A giant toilet, which really needs a clean. And with the fire damage from the bow, we haven't got enchant yet, but actually the fire damage is fine. Proof again that this is pretty easy at this point. Of course it's easy at this point. But what I mean to say is this combination is particularly effective. Decent block chance. I'm an okay level. 16 is actually probably maybe slightly over-leveled. Solid dodge there from me. Before you know it, it's over and done with. And another unique item. Oh my. Time to get excited. Crush Flange is very, very good. That is viable all the way through normal. And what's great for me is it's got really good fire resistance. 50%. It's very solid. Let's go. Next act. So, Act 2. The greatest of all acts ever. The ambience, the soundtrack, the characters, the environments, and the hirelings. Look at this. So I think Blessed Aim's probably the way to go. I was interested maybe in prayer, but really we just need to crack through this act as quickly as we can. So yeah, Biggin's bonnet there. Biggin's bonnet is okay. It has a really interesting mod, which we discovered in my one-shot build, which is that increased damage. But let's 49 to 78 is very decent. And he's got a decent life pool as well. He has 15 extra life, from Biggin's bonnet. And there is a little bit of a damage increase from that. That should actually scale pretty well when we get to very much later levels. But that's a long way from here. So we'll do Radamant just because, why wouldn't we? He's stolen Elzix's fan fiction. Very, very X-rated fan fiction about some of the skeletons down here. So we're definitely getting that. And there's a heraldic scroll, which is a picture of Elzix in a compromising... Why am I even doing this? The problem is I say this stuff and then it suddenly becomes lore. And I'm going to have to make a video on it all. before we get to the enchant level, and actually I'm quite glad I didn't level too much, the required level 18 there is going to be very useful for us spotting a staff with enchant on, because enchant is a level 18 spell. So here you can see +2 to enchant, almost perfect. Well, actually it's got that fire. If that fire was just 2 sockets, we'd have the perfect staff. Unfortunately, even after some minutes of shopping, I say some minutes, you know what I'm like, I couldn't find it. We'll just progress a little bit further through the campaign. We do want to do it before level 18 though, just so it's highlighted in red. And I'm struggling here. Come on, dude, you just gotta... This way? You want to go back to the... No, I want to go forwards. You know, we're going... You go back to the hotel? No, we've done that now. We're leaving the hotel. You need to go forward, please. Thank you. I mean, he's a lovely man, but he doesn't speak a lick of English. Yeah. Very easy trip, I'll be honest, all the way here. Sometimes it feels like everything else is just an aside to me walking. +2 enchant, no good. +2 frost nova, still no good. There's 1 enchant there. +3 teleport, actually pretty decent mobility stuff there. +2 enchant, it's expensive. I've been shopping for a long time, that's the problem. I do have 1 +1. +2, to be honest, that might be the best we're going to do. I actually don't have the will. Normally I'd be like, oh, come on, dude, just get good. By get good, I mean, just pour another few hours into it. But no, I didn't have it in me. That took a long time, and it's not fun. So let's get teleport. Incredible. The game that maybe divides the community quite a lot. Does it ruin the game? No, I think it actually makes the game for the sorceress. That's why I find it fun at this point. It's the fact that I can kind of zip through it. And we finally have enchant, which I should be maybe more excited about. So it's not a huge damage boost at this point. It's not insignificant, of course. Nice, Ethereal. 109 is actually very decent as well. And a little bit of damage reduction. Okay, that's nice. Feels good. Claw Viper, love the way this place looks outside. I think it's only right for an enchantress to be defeating all sources of fire that we find around there. Avenge the fallen soldiers around that fire tower. I almost forgot what it was then. I feel like the older I get, the thicker I get. I don't know if that's a global terminology, but thick in English means you're not very clever. Not that you've got sexy thighs. Let's move quickly on to Grief Crawler and his crew. Decent experience here. To be honest, the Claw Vipers are like glass cannons. If you're the wrong kind of build, you get absolutely knocked around by them. If you're a melee build on your own, it's very tough. But for someone like me who's letting someone else do the work, pretty easy, gotta say. And the teleport, getting to 18 is well worth it, just so you can zip up on this little platform here. Now we're doing something I end up doing a lot during this, and I will edit it as much as possible, but I run that countess a lot. I love this little rickety obelisk here. They've done a fantastic job of the environments. I think even in Path of Exile I was a little bit cross about how bad they are in comparison, because it's a beautiful game, Path of Exile 2. But man, so this game does it very well. And Gorfit here, but there's nothing there for me really. I'm actually going to throw on the floor. I didn't, I picked them up and sold them, don't worry. And then every now and then, in between journeys, I'm going to go back and run this lady again. I need a lot of runes. And look at this, Decker Kane's underpants. Something that they added in. Very, very popular request. Very important part of the story. How many pairs of underpants does one man get through in one day? Well, Decker Kane gets through 15 there, and the sun is still in the shadow. Tells me there's a few more hours left in the day. When you're a business entrepreneur, you can't stop to do your business. Put that on a t-shirt. And look at this, Leaf. Oh, incredible. So +3 to 5 skills is fantastic. And then it is beautifully augmented by the +2 enchant that was already on the staff when we bought it. I'm doing my best, by the way, guys, to try and get a flying scimitar run in. If anyone's got any ideas of how to do it, let me know. But I think I'm going to need some help from some of the modders out there. So with teleport, we don't even need to worry about how quickly we can do this. I do need to worry about accidentally having it on player 7. Because when I'm progressing through the story, best to just do it as quickly as you can and find those optimum areas. Optimum? What the hell? Optimum. I honestly can't talk anymore. By the end of this video, I'm not even drinking yet. I think I need to start. I think I need to start already. And immediately, with a whiskey in hand, I get the luck. The luck of the Irish, although it is Scotch. First time, no drama, straight to the can. Whoa, easy there. Just tidying up. I tell you what, one of my favourite things was when it looked like he jumped off the side. That was one of my favourite parts of any video I've done. For the eagle-eyed, they probably realise I haven't been using this staff yet. It's actually got a level 19 requirement, which is really quite annoying. But we've got it now, and actually we've got enchant already at level 7. And us sub can finally enjoy the fruits of that extra damage. 90 to 141. And to be honest, that weapon is by no means that impressive. Oh, wow, look at this. Okay. Amplify damage. Amplify damage. I mean, it's not got a great... He does jab, which means you've got a very high chance to proc it because he's attacking so often. And that's double damage. So there, that damage doesn't seem incredible. Hopefully, frequently, he's going to be doubling that with the amplify damage. So let's ram that staff really deep, hard, sand-covered, straight up Duriel's you know what. And it's that kind of treatment that gives him that thick wobble that we've come to love. Now, Sab seems to be taking quite a lot of damage immediately. I think what I need to do is soak up a lot of that myself. Again, no great danger for me, even though, for whatever reason, I've decided to turn off the numbers on my orbs there. Talking about my health and mana orbs there, you filthy creatures. Not my lady orbs, which is going to be my term of the year, by the way. I'm trying to track him down. Where is he? He's in the pub. Unbelievable. You just can't trust them. Ah, what did I mean by them? Men? Am I right, girls? Now I've got you on side with my Lady Orbs comment. So, I just want to apologise on behalf of my... Anyway, let's just move on. Okay, and there you go. Amplified damage, something to talk about. So we're doing double damage at this point. Enchant's hitting, I'm getting absolutely slapped. He does hit pretty hard. One of the big damage differences here, for anyone who needs tips on beating Duriel, I've just chugged so many of those cold resist potions, those thawing potions, that it's the cold aura and then the additional cold damage to his attacks that does so much of the damage. And now we're both absolutely juiced up on thawing potions. What has he got? He's got nothing. Oh wow, he actually has some another unique item. Oh, Twitch is actually pretty good as well. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. It's got extra block chance, which should mean we're at about almost as high as we can be. That's not a bad shield either.
I'm sorry things didn't turn out as you had hoped.
My favourite character in the game, Brian George is the guy who voices it. He might be familiar. I think he's in Seinfeld and a few other things, a few movies and stuff. But yeah, epic stuff. Almost as epic as this boat is. This is almost Path of XR2 quality boat as well. Incredible. But anyway, let's move on to the next act. I just want to have a quick look at this boat before we do the chapter thing. Definitely looks a bit dilapidated, this place. Act 3 is just trash. Look, it's built from trash. It's like a blight town. And I think it's worth noting the difference between the cows from one go to another. Look at this. It looks like he's got his headphones on. He's waiting to charge. It's also a very strange colour. But look, I'm just going to do a little bit of farming beforehand. I want to just make sure I'm the right kind of level for this. I ended up finding this incredible sacred glaive. It's such a shame that's not got enchant on, but there you go. Such is luck in life. We've had some pretty decent luck so far, and level 22. Now, to say I'm dreading this is an understatement. I love Ashab. I do not like Jelani. Although static field, to be honest, I know they have kind of semi-overworked a lot of these. For instance, the fire guys have now got enchant as a skill, and I think it goes up very decent level as well. When you get to like level 80, 90-ish, the enchant level if your minion can be very, very decent. I think probably what we want is a frost. I'm going to choose Scorch just for the irony of his name. Unfortunately, I think he can only really use a sword and shield, and also enchant does absolutely nothing to him. It's one of the biggest frustrations with the Act 3 mercenaries. Is even putting on these like swords and stuff basically does nothing to the damage of his skills. I don't think in all the time I use this guy that I saw him use his sword attack once. That's how bad it is. So we're really looking for pluster skills rather than, actually decent sword, because he's a total nutter. you know what? I'm a bit worried. We're going to have to test it out. You know what I like to do. Let's see how they fare against these Irish boys. These lads. I'll be honest, the lads are doing pretty well. Oh my god. It doesn't seem to be attacking more than one creature. Occasionally he hits the Ice Blast. Occasionally he hits the Glacial Spike. But he seems to be focusing on single target. He also seems to be confused as to what he's meant to be doing. I have hired you. Yeah, that took a... I actually had to edit that because it took so long. I'm extremely concerned about how much fun this is going to be. Certainly at high difficulties, considering we're normal now, and we're at very, very solid level. Spider Cavern, easy to remember it's the Spider Cavern, because spiders are what you call them. Not arachnids. They love that golden chest. How the hell are we going to get there? He looks like he's doing okay here. Maybe those Act 4 little Irish boys were a little bit too tough for him. But these spiders look fine. I mean, it's not intimidating, the damage. But these are minions. We've got to be really quite careful here. This is how a lot of people... Not me, guys, come on. A lot of people can easily die here. Could Sark the Burning. Does a huge amount of damage. And he can curse as well. I think we might be okay to stick around. Oh, we're cursed now. Let's get out of here. So we did find the Jade Statue as well, which is very nice. Which means we can immediately benefit. At this point, 20 hit points is a very decent amount. But this is the kind of experience I had. Just the... This is me hitting my head against a tree. And these... I mean, what am I supposed to do here? I'm not really taking that much damage. Unlike Scorch, who seems to be. What I am doing is trying to get through this as fast as possible, because Act 3 is a trash act for trash people. And I'm becoming increasingly trash. Even my commentary is becoming worse. Luckily, I was able to get through actually quite quickly, because sometimes when you get thrown around, and I don't have a huge amount of mana to be able to be teleporting wherever I want to, whenever I want to. So I have to be a little bit careful about how I use it. So let's pray for a good map. Let's pray I don't burn through all of my mana. It wasn't a great map. It was okay. It was okay. I didn't get lost, which is the main thing. And actually, his ability to be able to shoot at a distance is very nice against these guys. Doesn't seem to be tricking them. Oh, he's tricking them. Okay. Oh, he's just so slow. If you doubled his attack rate, he still would only be okay. But they need to look at that. The semi rework with them having enchant, static field, very good. And to be honest, it might be the only way we're going to get through this, is that static field. Certainly in normal, at least, static field is incredibly overpowered. Probably one of my favourite spells. Definitely a spell I get on every sorceress I make. Except for this one, of course, because I'm not allowed to. Whoa, okay. Fire damage is real damage. Just having a quick look around here. I'm not quite sure why. Cold enchanted. Maybe I'm just trying to pick... Whoa! Okay, and, you know, never a doubt, but that was close. So why is he pausing every now and then? Just do the damage. Honestly. And any time he stood in a Hydra, he dies. Fortunately, they just don't have the hit points on this difficulty to prove too much of a concern. But this is the idea of him healing himself now would just be crippling. But we got it after a lot of effort. He looks pretty pleased with himself. He shouldn't be. I actually thought, well, we may as well just go through and kill the others, because once we get them in a decent position and pick off some of the ads, some of the kind of like minions, we could get some semi-decent loot at this point. We didn't, so it was pointless. Look at this. Mom? Dad? Mom, Dad there, boiled in their own piss. What a way to go. It's the way they chose to go. Rather than suffer Act 3 any longer, they took their own lives. This can be intimidating to some people. To be honest, I can never remember the map layouts here. So I always end up doing exactly this. Zipping around. There's almost like the entrance, and then you have like a figure of 4, which you enter. I can just never remember which way to go. And especially when you're getting sucked by a ghost. Let me tell you, we've all seen that movie before. Then yeah, and your man is... Basically, I'm trying to say... Sorry, my mind went somewhere else then. I don't know why. But yeah, the... What are we doing? I need to pick up a brain. Let's welcome this lobotomy from the commentary. Now, actually, I feel like Ndugu might be possible. And Ndugu's wife, who is the real boss. That's the one that's holding him up. Is that fire enchant? He's immune to fire as well. I actually forgot. It's funny when you play through some of these runs, and I really recommend it, guys, for those who might find Diablo 2 a bit stale. Just pick up like a mad run. Because if you do things like, maybe I can only do fire damage, or only do cold damage, guys like Ndugu suddenly become impossible to kill. And there you go, the secret formula. Unbelievable. Honestly, this guy is so unreliable. La Messon, like, it looks weirdly quiet, but I did spend a lot of time clearing that little area. Let's say I did. Scorch did, and he likes to take his time, ladies. Am I right? What's wrong with me today? I'm gonna have some more whiskey. I think I've become more normal. So I'm gonna teach you a little trick here of how to get through this. Zip, zop, bibbity, and if not enough mana, you get hit by a ghost, then have to walk the rest of the way. That's the preferred strat at this level. Look at this as well. I mean, you're looking at that and thinking, why does he want that? You can tell because it's a yellow hue. But there's some very decent lightning resist attached to that. I don't really want to spend all that money on the +3 to bone spear. Perfect. 37% lightning resist. This is almost, with 229 hit points, a requirement. Otherwise, you're going to die in normal. And who does that? So with that is a very, very solid resist to have on a weapon. And then I've got some on my shield as well. So we're rocking a massive lightning resist at the moment. Now, he's still very, very capable of one-shotting. And a lot of that is RNG. Not that I'd know, because for obvious reasons, right? But I do remember having to pay someone to die on a very similar looking character in Hobo Barb, I think, against Mephisto. I believe one-shot him with like 350, 400 life. It was incredible. But yeah, I would never die, so never a doubt. Even with that lightning resist and 184 hit points at that time, I would not die. But I will be avoiding those large balls coming towards me. That's a decent lesson for life, by the way. Oh, a circlet, nice. Oh, and a gladius as well. That could be pretty good later. The real dilemma here is because Act 4 was rushed by the developers. There isn't a hireling here that's unique. So we're going to have to resort to some RNG. And I'm just hoping to dear God that I don't have to have these awful jungle boys. That sounds racist. Well, there you go. I'm not racist because I've chosen the desert Chad. Yes. And you might be like, what are you doing? Why haven't you changed yet? I just thought, let's just have a go. Let's just quickly whip round. He's not going to do anything. But I actually think I can get through this act very quickly. So this is like speed record strats. Part of me considers myself to be a coward for being so scared about getting an Act 3 mercenary here that I'm almost teasing myself. But yet maybe it is possible because it's such an easy act, really. You can speed through it with teleport, as I'm proving here to myself. But eventually we'll get to a point where I would have reached my tolerance level for this particular lad. Emilio! OG. Emilio is the dude. Put on your bonnet. And let's finally gamble for some pikes. I want a decent one here. Neither of those prevent monster heal is okay, but not on its own. Okay. Ugh, I forgot how bad the mods are at this level. Let's make some room for a start so we can really enjoy ourselves. Okay, it's up to 79. God, this really brings back memories of that one-shot challenge, having to gamble for pikes. I must have gambled for at least 1,000 pikes. You think gambling for so many pikes, you'd eventually get the unique, right? What is it, the Tan Gear Rod? You remember it, because I can't. Oh, up to 80. Yeah, okay, we like that. Okay, solid. 63 to 210. Doesn't feel that much more than it was before. Okay, that's why. Yeah, that's good. And actually, that's not full enchant, because I had my my mace out, not my leaf rune word, of course. Come on, Emilio. It's not looking good for Emilio. He suffered a mild concussion. Straight back up and in him. That's it. And even with a mild concussion, and I say mild, he's still bleeding. Blood thief. Okay, that's cool. Damage is atrocious, though, isn't it? Open wounds is very solid, by the way, but it scales with level from what I understand. I might get that wrong, but I'm pretty certain it scales with level, in which case it's not worth it at this low level. It's just not going to do any damage. Okay, I don't know what I was expecting there, but we picked up a few things I now have to hold in my stash for the rest of the game. My plan was to maybe like cautiously work through the Chaos Sanctuary. The problem is when you've got teleport, it's a bit like when you've got a car, or what should I say, when you don't have a car, you're like, oh, just walk everywhere, it's easy, man. And then you get a car and you think, I'm not going to be lazy like everyone else. And then you just drive everywhere. Emilio! He's fine, never a doubt. The idea of doing this, like, I think someone suggested doing a hardcore hireling. So if the hireling dies, you have to restart. It's a definite blanket no from me. Although I was planning on doing a Demon Souls run after this, or within the next few weeks anyway. I've seen quite a few runs come out recently on Demon Souls, and it's kind of put me off because I feel like people are going to think I'm just copying them. I planned to do it for so long, but one of the guys, Press Continue, I think it is, Dutch guy, has recently done one where because I was going to do like a soul level one. He's done one, almost at least, did the run where he wasn't wearing anything at all. No weapons, no armor, no anything. I haven't finished the video yet. It's really made me feel like I'm just a trash tier. What am I'm meant to be doing challenge runs here, and someone is just outclassing me completely. Maybe I should hurry up and try and do that on Dark Souls before he does. But he wasn't able to kill the phalanx, so maybe that's the way I'm going to redeem myself. While I've been nattering on, we've been absolutely cracking through these guys. Infector of Souls here, he's got nothing on Emilio. Emilio is really the real hero of the game. I would love to do an Emilio only run. Again, I've looked into trying to mod some of the skills just to make myself Emilio. Oh, Emilio. Oh, God, take him from us too soon. Now, I was chatting about how lucky I was with the role, and someone said, oh, you're so lucky you didn't get an Act 3 mercenary, because it would have been impossible for you. And it really annoyed me. So, this is the reason why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm trying to equip it. I was just really cross. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm motivated now to prove how it doesn't matter who I got, I would have been able to do it. Taking a lot of damage there. And I really need to be the one to soak up the damage as well. He does have static, but I don't think he's casting it. Maybe it's too low a level. Oh, and he's gone already. He must have just slipped into the lava there. Back we go, Flux. Come on, Flux. I feel like he's close enough now that static field should be working. Why is it not working? The issue I have is when he's really close, he doesn't want to cast static field. At least he doesn't look like he wants to. And he really, really likes dying very quickly. So look, I'm trying to get him as close as possible. Teleport is perfect for this. Now would be great. There? Is he casting it? I don't think he is. Yep. So this was an evening of my life. Resurrecting Flux. Proving to myself, and really to nobody else other than myself, because nobody else cares at this point. If anything, I've betrayed the rules of the run by going back to an Act 3 mercenary. But I promise you, this was definitely more miserable for me, and therefore that's probably more worthy of your love and attention. Anyway, well, you should subscribe anyway, because I don't know, actually. And look, most people would save an exit there. I'm not going to die. Never a doubt. But yeah, maybe 20 minutes later, and I was getting cross with Flux at this point. Dude, you just got to shoot. He spent a lot of time. I mean, he's got great knees. I'll be honest, great pair of knees. Part of me thinks if they took the knee bit out, then maybe he spent a little bit more time just casting spells. The thing is, they look really cool. They're just extremely. Oh, I mean, he's going to take a lot of damage from that. Thank goodness that is over. Whoa, actually, some not interesting drops there. The Diggler will be actually good resists on it. And we can say goodbye to that Act 3 mercenaries. Rock Fleece, of course he can't use it. He doesn't even know how to. He's going to get caught up in his cloak. We'll save that because that's a very decent armor. Eyes and Hearts, I hate having to hold on to it. It's the worst thing. But the Diggler's very good. The reason why, it's got that dexterity, which is good for block chance, but also solid resists for Act 5. Let's get ourselves a barbarian. Come on.
I'll put that to good use.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not allowed one yet. I'm still stuck with this guy. We'll go back and I'll just do a little bit of farming, just because sometimes when I take a break from the game and come back, I don't mind the idea of just messing around, watch some TV. What am I watching? None of your business. I'm actually still watching The Next Generation, thanks for asking. I'm really struggling to get through the end of it, just because I don't want it to end. Makes me feel a bit sad, the idea. So this is the bounty of loot that I was able to find, mostly from Karast runs, to be honest. Look at this amplified damage on a sword. It could be pretty decent for a Act 5 mercenary. A lot of the other stuff I got was absolutely rubbish, but it's all cash in the bank. So, I mean, I'll show you hints of what I got here, but there's really nothing. Little charms here and there. Most of them completely redundant, unfortunately. Yeah, you can get some decent resist charms and stuff, but presumably Alcor's got them all under his bed. So I got absolutely nothing. 32 resist, and it was poison. Useless. I can't even use the belt that I got. Circlet was terrible. I got another one of these. I'm sure I threw those out. But the most important thing is that we've got teleport, and we can zippity-zoo. And I was hoping I could cast enchant on a lot of these barbarians. You can't, annoyingly. But what I can do is command Flux to follow me through quite a large amount of the game. I got to the Crystalline Passage and I thought, actually, what am I doing? I'm going through the whole game with this guy. Just let's get rid of him. And these are our options. You pretty much have two options. I didn't realize that exactly at the time. You've got a bash and you've got a frenzy. And the frenzy are two swords, and the bash is basically one big sword, handed. We're gripping it with two hands. We're going straight in with Barlock.
I am overburdened.
I'm giving in a Gladius. I'm also a bit of an idiot. I just didn't really know what he could have. So I thought, oh, could you give him a two-handed axe? Well, I don't know why I thought that. I found some really good axes as well. He can at least equip this armor, and everybody can wear Biggin's bonnet, thank goodness. The best thing I could do is give him that big old sword with amplified damage and get him to grip it and rip it in Act 5. So we're hoping that he's going to be able to slice through these enslaved so confidently that we can use this as our EXP farming for normal difficulty. I actually chose, the reason why I'm back in Act 4 now, I chose a few different areas. I kind of mix up different player levels, different sets of creatures in different environments. This is a poor example because, of course, those summon minions give no experience. This was okay, and of course, I'm after Izual because I want those extra skill points. We've got to do it eventually, and you may as well do it now. Luckily, he didn't have too many unpleasant creatures around him. It still took an awful long time for Barlock to realise that if he just killed the other guy, then he'd have a much easier time of it, but really needs cannot be frozen as well. It's almost going to be a necessity. A few decent armors with cannot be frozen, so hopefully we'll find one of those. And the amplified damage there coming out. Massively improving the amount of damage we're doing, of course. Finally, we do what needs to be done. Thanks to Barlock. And this was a large part of my life, was sat in this little rock cubby that we've got here. And I found that's actually a very decent find there. 2-socket war sword. We know what we can do with that. Barlock there just saved his life. Ungrateful. And Anya, probably the most solid reward of all rewards, other than this often joke that we get from her. Decent energy there on that. Doing a bit of gambling just because I kind of want a better sword. But to be honest, I shouldn't really be wasting my money at this point. I regret this. as it's like the gambler's motto, right? I love what they did with the remaster here. Look at the detail they've added to that. It looks really bad in the original. I've got to say, that looks terrible. It looks kind of cartoony. Remember in Icewind Dale, for those that saw that, there was a few little bits towards the end there which looked like they were environments drawn rather than kind of created and edited and all the rest of it. That definitely felt like one of those. Last minute, let's quickly do a little entrance on paint. We're at the Ancients. I know I'm excited about it. The key here is to be an absolute coward. Run. Probably should have a bit more mana, to be honest. And by that I mean I need more drinks. More blue drinks. With those, we can help to separate these lads. I remember reading someone who was a little bit critical of the fact that, oh, are you kidding me? His little taunt overwrites amplify damage? That is a real oversight. Anyway, Talik's out of the way. I interrupted myself there, expressing that somebody said the ancients, when you can split them up in this kind of manner, cheapens the fight a lot. I don't know how on some difficulties it's even possible with some characters without exactly being able to do this, as I've discovered with many of my characters before. But I'll prove it is possible, at least on normal difficulty, by standing here and absorbing a giant halberd to the head while also being hit with axes in the same head. Hoping, as with all things in life, that I can drink through my problems. Really like the animations on the barbarian, by the way. I think they look super cool. There's some really well, I've tried to get a few decent freeze frames for a potential thumbnail. But actually, he's got some really unique positions he ends up in. Quite dynamic character. I'm not attracted to him. I don't know what. Why are you blushing? I'm not. What? Now we have my dog. It always just feels a little bit sad. I mean, we know ever since the accident where John Thomas was chopped off in an unfortunate flying axe tournament, and that we'll have a look at it in just a bit, but he was never the same since. Let's be honest. His hair never had the same kind of red luster as it did when he was packing 2 Coke cans. Enchant up to level 13. 135. We can get that well up there now. 234 extra damage. Wow. Part of me's a little bit annoyed, as you should be, that I didn't just do that beforehand. But I love just saving up spell points, because then you get a really significant boost. I do really love games when it increments insanely in many ways, because it makes you feel like you're always being rewarded rather than these tiny little incremental improvements. Part of the reason I really didn't like Diablo 4 Endgame, by the way. Well, that's a dirty word around most circles these days. So, oh wow, okay, so 330 to 488 damage. Very, very nice. We're already at the Throne of Destruction. Feels like we haven't spent enough time enjoying ourselves. But this is all the way to hell, so I probably am not doing this fast enough. That's what she said. All 3-socket shield. I'm actually pretty tempted to go for the Ancient's Pledge there. I feel like I've earned it at this point. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, definitely worth it. We're actually going to need those resists as we go into Nightmare as well, so I'm very pleased with that decision. So the trick to the Veil fight, especially when you're subsidizing, or not subsidizing any damage, but being subsidized by damage, is doing your best to be the one that's getting cursed. So the closest creature to Baal is the guy that ends up getting that Decrepify curse on them. So my job really is to stand in the right place and be shouted at by Baal. Felt weirdly confident in Barlock's damage here, and you kind of see why. I mean, he's getting absolutely pelted. However, even with his ridiculously slow attack speed, he's doing quite well. He's just carved through them. Nearly every other character, I have to lure these little skelly boys out. No need. Even in slow motion, Bollock is unavoidable. However, he is very susceptible to fire damage. Fortunately, the council members don't have a huge hit point pool, so we can slice them in half pretty comfortably, but we just got to make sure we don't stand in that Hydra. I'd actually love to do a Hydra-only run. The only problem with a lot of these runs is the skills. Why is there such a high level cap to so many skills? It's so frustrating. I don't want to have to get to level 18 or 24, whatever it is, to get Hydra, just to start the run. My plan here with the Venom Lords, just because I was a little bit concerned about that high fire resist, I actually forget in a lot of these early difficulties, a lot of them aren't too resistant. So we can, as you can see from Barlock's perfect example here, slice them in half as required. But my plan was to kind of lure them out in order to, zip through. And when it comes to dinosaurs, I mean, I'm not interested in the dinosaurs at all. They're so tough. The issue with the minions of destruction is they stun with their hit, They stun and they push back. And, you know, a melee guy like Barlock, he's not going to survive very long against them. So we'll do the old classic trick, just zip out, lure them out, and zip back in. Before we know it, we're up against the final boss of the first third of this game. Bar Owl, as he's known to his friends. Which was, by memory, actually quite a good fun fight. Not difficult at all. He didn't spend too much time re-summoning his brother, which is a real pain when he summons the clone. However, I was so impatient and I thought, this feels like it's taking too long. It would be so much better if he just had Frenzy and then we'd be doing so much more damage. So my great plan was to hire a new guy. Let's have a look. Who do I end up with? Trinius. Oh, come on. It's got to be him. Trinius as I mightiest. I can't help Ius, but replace Ius. Someone who was doing a perfectly fine job. Now, my immediate plan was to give him 2 really big swords. Of course, you can't do that. So I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Oh, here we go again. He also can't use daggers, despite my best efforts. I do have this 2-socket. Part of me's like, oh, if I have the runes, I could do it. I didn't have the runes. So what we got to do? Well, look, that's a huge amount of damage. And as soon as I make that change, his brother comes along. I was like, what? Why did I do this to myself? Trinius then immediately dies, but with enough perseverance, and by that I mean a huge amount of time. I really like the way the sorceress, or all the characters, should I say, look in a certain direction. I think that's so cool, especially with bigger creatures, where you can see her like looking up at creatures. A lot of people, I'm sure, haven't seen that detail, by the way. Maybe they've seen it, but just a little bit of unnecessary drama we finally get through. Oh my god, a bout of dart. What annoys me is Hobo Barb would have absolutely loved that. Look at this for Hobo Barb. A death bit battle. It replenishes quantity. It's got some incredible stuff there, by the way. Very decent damage. And I get that throwing axe as well. And there's a throwing... This is just ridiculous. This is pure Hobo Barb nonsense. But with that, friends, 0 deaths. Conclude normal. The nightmare begins. Before we jump into Nightmare, of course, a little bit of fun to be had. 3-socket. Oh my... Are you kidding me? Incredible. Plan here was to do a little bit of a cow level. Yeah, it's not happening. What Eve? Just take me to Act 2 now, mate. I made probably a bit of a mistake here, putting a Tal and a Tal in, but it did help with damage. And we're up to level 40, actually. A huge amount of skill points and stuff to spend. Massive inventory worth of items here. Look at this. Gluttonous spread. Try my best to cut the length of the videos down. I don't really want to show you all the farming I do as well. I mean, I'm not streaming this live, so you don't want to see like 10-hour long episodes of just one difficulty, because I mess around so much. I waste so much time. But a few interesting items. I mean, all of these are pretty normal by definition, and therefore not great. A little bit more magic find. A few interesting armors. I mean, maybe contextual stuff. I do find the +1 to skill amulet, which is very nice. And look at this plated belt. Okay, that's actually quite pretty good. A bit of mana. Yeah, I won't complain. It definitely needs an upgrade. Enchant, we can start boosting up very significantly now. Up to max level. With those 3 extra skill points. I mean, I'm tempted to get to Energy Shield. I just think it might be a bit premature until our damage is maximized. And there's a big sunk cost of 3 extra points just to get to Energy Shield. I hate the way the skill trees are structured, by the way. It's one of my big criticisms of this game. I actually really like the way Diablo 3 does it. Hate me for it? Nah, I don't. But look, huge amount of Countess runs. That was a normal difficulty. In order to get some of the runes we might think we might need. Rock Fleece is very solid. Bit of damage reduction. Actually, Twitch Toe's got that faster attack speed. I mean, I like the block. That's the problem. Maybe it should be this way around. Yeah. And Teartal. No, we just need that Am rune. Unfortunately, I did not find it from the Countess. The Countess should automatically drop an Am rune, as far as I'm concerned, because I spent so much time farming her just for that. I mean, look, Den of Evil is fun when you can teleport to the creatures, I'll be honest. And I forgot how good the actual mercenary was in comparison to some of the guys. I actually think she might be one of my favourite mercenaries. I mean, behind Emilio and Clan, of course. Because they're just so, like, utility-wise, they're so good. think Luther did a really good run once, which was Valkyrie, Emilio, and like a Jabazon. That's a very solid idea, by the way. Go subscribe to that guy. He's also a very, very lovely guy. So yeah, the chances are you're probably already subscribed to him. So no great worry. If anything, unsubscribe from him. He's got too many subscribers at this point. No, actually, just unsubscribe from me. He deserves it. He deserves it more. Why am I doing this, by the way? Why am I killing Bloodraven? I think I just wanted a little bit of fun. Am I allowed that? Am I allowed that? My next video after this, by the way, I've already recorded, and it's not what any of you want. Anyway, a bit like the scale mail. Do I want this? Not really. But cannot be frozen, I've mentioned before. Not bad. Could be useful. Starbang the Grim. Wow. What a christening that must have been. We know the way to go. Straight to the barracks. We're zipping past everyone here. It's overcrowded, as are many barracks. I hear some really bad stories about the miners' strikes that happened in the UK and how drunk a lot of the police were during it because they were put up in barracks. They were called in from other police departments, put up in barracks, and basically got pissed. So the next day when they had to go and sort the miners out who were striking because of the changes to the coal industry, just bashed the absolute brains out of them because they were drunk out of their heads. Well, there you go. I'm sure history's got a lot more drunken stories. This hopefully being one of them. As I continue with my whiskey into nightmare difficulty, and we are whipping through. This actually makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. I think with Path of Exile 2, a lot of people criticise the fact that I'm just kind of zipping through it a bit much. They like it when I take my time. I don't hate zipping through, to be honest. I actually really like watching my own videos back, which is super sad. Unsubscribe. But yeah, the guy loves his own videos. Nobody else does. But yeah, I like just watching them back. It's fun to see some of the decisions I make, often questionable. Why am I doing that? And the worst thing is I have to explain why I did what I've just done. I don't know. Really bad decisions. A lot of wasted time. A lot of like, why am I even looking at this torch design? Things like that. Oh, it's painful, guys. It's painful for me, as it is for many of you. But thanks for sticking with me. This video almost coincides with my 1 year anniversary of posting videos on YouTube. So thanks to anyone who's bothered to watch any of them, because I'm not quite sure why. But I know I want to watch it. Oh, unbelievable. Just as we switch out. Is that longsword any good? Act 3? Oh, okay. +2 fire skills. Could actually be good for an Act 3 mercenaries. Kuko, Shukaku. Easy. Just out of time. Fresh out of time. But that would be otherwise really good. Actually, could be a solid weapon for hell.
I'm gonna party like it's $9.99.
I always forget to do that dialogue, and now I can't help but do it. Now I remember. Yeah, it's one of those like hidden dialogues that most people wouldn't even bother talking to Geed after they've beaten Andariel, but I did. And you can see. Interesting, that's also voiced by Brian George. What a lad. I'd love to be a good voice actor. Underpaid, underappreciated. I appreciate it. And look at these, how cool these boots are. I don't know if I've ever seen boots that color before. Is that crazy to me? Is that crazy? Are you seeing this? Have you seen this before? Like perfectly grey, cruel slippers, perfectly grey. I've not seen that before, I'm sure. Maybe in my many years. A dragon, what's going on? Well, the problem is we're highlighting a lot of the stuff I'm doing, so it looks like I'm having really good luck. Hours later. Some farming later. Oh, this is unbelievable. And some unbelievably good luck. Like this. Yeah. That's how farming normally feels. We're doing our best to find whatever we can. We know we're probably maybe slightly underleveled. We also just don't have the equipment we need. That was by far the best of maybe about 25 runs that I did. Soul Feast Tine. Ethereal, which is great for damage. A little bit of lifesteal as well. The Act 2 mercenaries will benefit, or any mercenary will benefit from it, but the Act 2 mercenaries can equip that. Steel Driver. Not useful. Man not heal. Ugh, please. Come on. Look at this. Night Slime. He may be up there as one of my favourite hero names I've ever discovered. Night Slime. It sounds like a Always Sunny in Philadelphia pantomime character. So there's a lot here to take in. there's not actually too much interest. A lot of like trash tier items. Crystal sword, I think actually that should, if I socket it, turn into 5 socket 1. Dust Steep is a very decent helm. It's got that damage reduction. It's got some max damage as well, and it's got really good defenses. Probably at this point, better than Bigot's Bonnet. Can you even believe anyone saying that? I think it's my turn to be wearing that kind of solid drip. And then some incredible excitement. Howl Tusk was my one of my favorite items from the original Diablo 2. I didn't understand what 35% damage taking goes to mana meant, and I thought that was great for my sorceress. So I spec'd heavily into strength, which was regrettable. Nagel Ring, well, the more Magic Find, the better. We're going to stack Magic Find as much as we can. And this is within Nightmare. We're doing some Countess runs here. Look at that. Pretty... On the highlight reel, looks pretty good. And this was a really good one. A Hell Rune is probably one of the highest you can drop. Shale's also very useful. I mean, to be honest, I'm always tempted to pick up that Longstaff, because it could be the one. But yeah, the gauntlets here, Frostburn, again, OG unique item. I think the only thing they changed was adding some enhanced defense. Not sure if it needed it, to be honest. With some interesting runes in tow, Orton Soul, we can make Law. Fantastic helm. Certainly help us through a lot of Nightmare difficulty, and be a useful helm as well for our Iron Wolf later in Act 3 with that +1 to all skills. Nice energy, decent lightning resist, bit of damage reduction as well. Very decent. Just really trying to upgrade our belt game here. Dual resist, very nice. Okay. Got very lucky with the amount of rares we ended up finding in this particular gambling session. Okay, some very decent stats. Oh wow, triple resist. Wow, if that life was a little bit better, that'd be incredible. But that's a very, very decent belt. Again, back again, boys, in the desert. We've stripped our rogue ceremoniously, unceremoniously. Golzar becomes our new mercenary of choice. Yeah, the Act 2 mercenary in Nightmare is by far the best of all. The Might Aura is incredible. The Might Aura is generally a massive boost to your own damage as well. Unfortunately for me, and Deckard Cain's underpants, it's not helpful. Let's put the Kuko Shikaku over here. I've got a few spears. I say, I found a spear. There's only really one that does enough damage. The Impaler. It's not the one. It's got that 40% open wounds, which is good. But again, at this point in the game, it's not enough. Just to subsidize the raw damage, really what you want at this point, just raw damage. With the Might Aura as well, we're laughing. We're also laughing because we can teleport past all of the challenge. Look at that. Maggot Lair, yep, straight in. It's always straight up, and it's always to the right. Not here. No, made a mistake. Not down. Okay, is it down? It's always so easy to find. Now I know the way. Is it down here? Is it? I thought you knew the way, Golzar. Golzar? At the hotel? No, Golzar. We're getting to level 2. Ah, yes, here. Some of these accents are cancelable, I understand. But you don't know what ethnicity I am, and therefore I am technically impervious. I like people who can do accents, because I can. And I hate the fact that the world has got to a point where people like to be offended by accents. And we all know Golzar would find it funny if he could understand a word of what I'm saying. But Claw Viper Temple of Nightmare can actually be quite worrisome, especially with Berserker Salamanders around. Whoa, that's some pretty decent damage output. Berserkers have 4 times damage and attack rating. I always thought they had less hit points. They seem to die much easier than the others, but maybe the others just have other mods. Too quick for the Exploding Shrine. Nice. Efficient. Cracking through this now. The debate is whether we stick around and try and get some experience. But actually the positioning that skeleton being constantly revived is a pain. Radamant goes down, no drama at all. Nightmare is probably my favourite difficulty, by the way. These are a really good mix of difficulty and reward. Energy Shield now. We're by Deckard Cain's pants. He's had another early morning accident. I'm debating where to push the skills from this point. I mean, look, Energy Shield is very good, but only really at higher levels, because it needs that telekinesis points in order to make it efficient. Otherwise, every time you get hit, you lose so much mana relative to the health you'd lose. It looks so cool. I actually love the way it looked in the old game. There's something about that kind of, I don't know, the way it shimmers and shakes in the old version. I mean, it's incredible art because it looks like it's revolving or at least moving, but it's only a few frames of animation there. Incredible. And I also really like the way the Great Helm looks like it's kind of supporting the orb above it. There's no drama here. Nothing to see. We'll be zipping through a lot of this. Nice to always see that portal room nice and empty. Arcane Sanctuary. You can see how many waypoints I've got. Literally none. Up to this point. Nice little solid level up from Golzar. I should really remember their names. Before I get to know them. They're gone. So, cheeky little ring. Oh, nice. Okay, fine. It's nice to see that wasn't particularly well populated. From there, it's a very, very quick teleport over Talarash's tomb. We're going to be drinking heavily beforehand after ramming that staff, that wooden shaft, as hard as we can. Hear the screams, the echoing screams as he falls from the ceiling. I'm concerned. This guy scares me. It's one of the few rooms it's one of the few rooms that you're kind of isolated in the whole of the game. So it makes it very cool for a boss fight. Also, he looks very intimidating. It's actually very dark as well. I'm not scared of the dark. That's not what I'm talking about. I am actually going to say we're doing pretty well. We're tanking a lot of hits. I think our resists are good. Our block's okay. Energy shield is definitely just helping. I mean, look, you can see how much our mana is being cut down every time we take a hit. I mean, it's very significant. Oh, nice little telekinesis. Disappear. I always have to think, am I poisoned? If it's more, is the hireling poisoned? Annoyingly, poison seems to endure even when they're in town. So you can have a fight with Andari, I'll get back to town in time, and unlike you, they take lethal damage in town. No drama from Durio in terms of poison, though. It's just pure, raw damage, and a lot of that is cold. So as long as you've got decent cold, we're fine. 1/1/1 magic find? I mean, I'm not hoping for much from this guy. He is, well, there's a large charm there. Better than usual, and we've had good luck to this point. Oh, God. Here we are. Now, look, there's a little doodad here I didn't realise. Something they've added in here. An actual wolf's head. Where they found this poor guy. Must have been imported. But yeah, I thought I'd have a quick look around. I didn't really hang around this particular part that often, as you can imagine, because I hate this area and I hate this guy. I hate him so much. But we're stuck with him. At least we have... Well, we've got the sword, which is going to help. And of course, he can't use the shield because he's got spaghetti arms. 86 strength. Rolled in. So let's pointlessly fire enchant our cold Iron Wolf and see how he fares against this Irishman. Leaving the pub. He's run out of money. He's just been paid. He's already spent it all. 2 flesh beasts. Okay. Calm down. Okay, that seemed okay. Yeah, maybe. You never know. I'm willing to be converted. Always annoying when you find the waypoint here. Arachnid Lair, not the one we want. But at least we can zippity-zoody boppity-boo all the way around. Do you know what? We found Garast without really meaning to. This was a lot more premature. And we found the waypoint. Look at this. Things are looking up. Straight up at Garast and found the waypoint there as well. Is there anything stopping me just going all the way to Travancore? Nothing. Nothing, friends. We're here. I used to call it Travincial when I was young. Still not sure why I did that. Into the sewers after that. That's where I belong. A little rat. Ratman. Ratman's one of my favourite videos, by the way. It didn't get nearly as much love this year as it deserved. My first cinematic entry into the new Diablo 2 lore universe. Marginally more popular than the DC universe. But nowhere close to the Marvel, unfortunately. Ratman being one of the only members of the roster at this point. Just didn't bring in the box office he needed to. And with teleport, Why am I even concerned? It's actually quite good fun just whipping through the campaign. Just a weird order I've done this in, but actually quite nice in a way. It just means I've done it almost as efficiently as I can. And there's that very risky cursed modifier that Sark the Burning always has. Cursed and extra strong is insane. I tell you what, the one mod I would love in this game would be a champion mod, where you could play as a champion, and as you level up, you can like add in more creatures to the pack, or add in certain mods like cursed and stuff. You could get pretty insane, especially if they had something like you start off as like limited classes are available at the start, like just some Act 1 creatures, like maybe a dark rogue and a fallen, maybe like a foul crow, something like that. You can build up to be some pretty badass guys and unlock characters as well. Maybe when you defeat them, like Ismail Varhand and his dudes. Do you know, that's a great game. Blizzard should do that. That would be incredible. The problem is they turn into some auto battler, you know, unlock skins using pain coins or something. Absolute bollocks. Oh, the Durance of Hate. You know, at this point, it's just relief washing over me. It is tough, the Durance of Hate, don't get me wrong. You can get some unpleasant creatures. But I know with teleport, I'm honestly only a few teleports away from bippity boppity boopity boos, and I've got so much more mana now. It's so much more efficient, my teleport. With 66 light resistance, there's no chance of me getting one shot like somebody might get in normal if that were to happen. Not me, but you know, somebody else. This actually seems okay with fire. I mean, I was thinking I need to switch to the static lad. Maybe I'll still do that. Oh god, he can absolutely chunk health. Now, I'm looking at it now. 275 is not a lot of health. So let's do what I promised myself I'd do. Oh, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to lose the benefit of having this +2 fire skills on the sword. But you still have Colwyn's Point, which is +1 to skills. And now we just got to hope we can tank. And hope he's going to use static field. I mean, my eyes are squarely on the Mephisto. Okay, maybe. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Now on Nightmare, the furthest that static field is going to take us down is to 25% of his health. At which point it might be worth switching to the fire guy. Switching back. But at this point, maybe we could just rock out for a bit. I end up not bothering because it wasn't actually too bad. By the time we got to 25%, I could see it continue to tick down. You can see how long it took by the end. The static field was doing a hell of a lot of the damage. And why does he like to just stop every now and then? What's weird is he got a little bit... Whoa, okay. Let's calm down. I'm holding on to a lot of my magic find gear here in the hopes to actually get something from Mephisto, which is why I'm holding that crossbow. Well worth it, lads. Look at that. One unique as well. Before we do the roll, which will determine how much I enjoy this particular part of the video, let's just do some of the quests we needed to. Okay, interesting. Do you know what? I actually quite enjoyed the Act 1 Mercenary. Devo? Oh, what a Devo. Nice. Or Divo. Divo is actually an insult in the UK, by the way. Don't call someone a Divo on the wrong council estate in Liverpool. Talking of translations, Kuko means spirit fox, plant, tree, ninth child, airport, Shikaku, angle of fire. Also means shrine, company ranking. So we know, if anyone asks, what it means. Airport, company rank. Interesting, like weird choice, but I get it. It makes some sense to me. Not 100, maybe. Blackheart the Impaler. Man, he should have his own game. That is a badass name. This is working out really well. So with the Kuko Shikaku, we're doing some fire damage. With the fact that she's a frosty girl, means we've got that element covered as well. And there's a fair amount of physical in there too. I did just spot you-know-who. Unfortunately, we've got some souls here. I do actually have quite a decent amount of lightning resistance, just from having to go through that whole Mephisto ordeal. Unfortunately, we've got quite a few burning souls here, which I need to be very careful of. With my mana drained, then it's very easy to get one shot. I don't have a huge hit point pool, got to remember that. Even with a nightmare, I look at 295 hit points. That is abysmal. I'm never really a great fan of putting points into vitality, I'll be honest. Worried about those souls down the bottom. Fine. Oh, a large siege bow. Completely pointless, but, you know, contextual. It's no airport company rank, but... From here, we can... To be honest, we're actually having a decent time of it. Look at this, I could just melt these guys. Do you know, I love the fact these guys make an appearance in this act in much bigger groups as well. Very cool. Don't hate the idea of all these different, like, creatures you fought already having different, like, massive groups and different enclaves and areas, which is like where they came from in hell. I love the fact she looks up. Thank you. Just points into telekinesis, and this is a really cool little spot here. Look at this. The bloom on that. Hurts my eyes. Maybe it's the time of the night. Be good to have, if there's a way of using that. I mean, I'd never get Diablo this far. But against a Fasto, the armourer. Is it a Fasto? It's definitely a spot you could cheese him, assuming he's not lightning enchanted. I'm not going to call myself a professional, but I don't need cheese tactics when I've got a teleport. Whoa, maybe I do. Okay, calm down, everyone. Yeah, he actually is pretty fast when he needs to be. Even with the nightmare, the like slow down property, has he gone wrong? The slowing down of the cold arrow just does not last long enough for it to be reliable. Doll is absolutely rubbish, because I've already found about 4 of them from the Countess. That's a great shame. Now, if you asked me why I decided to put Colwyn's Point on, I'm not quite sure. I think my resists, at least on paper, looked okay. So I thought, well, actually, I benefit from the +1 skills. I know we've got +2 fire skills on Hellblade, whatever it's called, but actually the +1 helps me with a lot of my other skills, like the energy shield, teleport's cheaper. So I thought, actually, for the sake of a few more levels in enchant, I might be better off with just +1 overall skills. Flame bang, nothing worse than running into your old flame you used to bang. Some gothic cathedral club that you've ended up at. Do you know what? Actually, immediately as soon as I said that, I'm like, Vampire Bloodlines. What a game! What a game! If you've not played that, you're missing out. I love that the soundtrack to that game is one of my favourites. The whole thing, the idea of them making a sequel. I don't know if it's like the cynic as you get older, but there's no way I would play a sequel to Bloodlines. If it was made by exactly the same people, I would maybe give it a go on discount about 3 months after launch. But nobody who grew up with that game has got any desire to play some half-assed name-only sequel to such a beloved, such like a weird, unique game. Whoa, talking of uniques, we've done it. Stone of Jordan. Oh, this game, unbelievable. What is going on? Still got a bit of that like residual yuck from Act 3. That's why I didn't roll as well as I should have done. Yeah, I ended up having to switch back because my fire resistance wasn't nearly as good as I thought it was. So I thought Colwyn's Point is not going to be that much of a benefit if I get killed very easily by some fire damage. Oh my god, talking of damage, she is a real Devo. Really need Lord Decease to not be such a pussy here. But he is not playing ball. I don't want to have to kill all these guys, mainly for time. I just want to crack through it. Eventually we get him to, a position. The problem is if you get too close to him, he runs away. And even if you get him quite low, he likes to run away. So that's almost like the perfect distance. Ooh, bit of splint mail, bit of money, bit of cash. Cash will go straight to gambling very soon. Now it's very busy. There's only one creature we really care about killing here. And I think, I may as well just clear out this little area, but actually those mages are starting to chunk my health pretty badly. So it might be a good idea. Just to zippity-zoo away. Whoa, okay, everyone calm down? No. The damage output there is insane. It's just the Infernos. I mean, I've got almost 75 fire resist, but enough of those Infernos. Now I've got to be, quick, nice. Oh, this is a nice little cheese spot here as well. Maybe I could do Diablo here. No, he'd lightning storm over that or something. No, we just got to hope that the arrows eventually... Well, to be honest, I don't mind the arrows hitting everyone else except for the Infector of Souls. But then I can get the experience from them. But it looks like his time on this planet... I don't know what I'm talking about. He be dead. Is what I mean. Let's stick to what I know. I don't even know what planet I'm on. Oh, he's announced himself. Okay, this is actually quite good fun because we can kind of stay at the right kind of distance. That firestorm is absolutely lethal to any hireling. He's a very nice, like, almost pucey, a light tan colour. I think it suits him. He looks a bit like Sonic the Hedgehog before he evolved into real Sonic the Hedgehog. That's from Sonic the comic, by the way, which I used to get when I was young. Which I think could identify my age. But we're all around the same age, unfortunately. I see the stats on how old you all are. In fact, there's so many people who watch my videos watch it on TV because they can't be bothered. They can't. I know. I get it. We've all got office jobs. We all like the Diablo. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with liking Diablo, man. He's up. Like he actually cast a firewall there for a moment, which was weird. The weakness there is 1, my reaction time, and 2, he can shoot over walls pretty comfortably with almost every attack. I just got into a bit of a kind of flow state. I mean, old Devo did get hit quite a lot. There's a few resurrections. Fortunately, throughout this whole run, I've just had a lot of cash. I've been cash strapped on so many runs, by the way. But yeah, easy. That doesn't seem too bad. Inferno Stride? Ethereal. Wow, 148 defense on that. Decent fire resist. Probably worth wearing until they break. Durability, 7. That is brutal. No, 69. Extra gold for monsters. Nice. 15% all resistances and some life there as well. I don't hate that. Maybe if I don't know, to be honest, I don't need the other resistances that much. And Grey Form, like, I almost never get Grey Form, by the way. Very cool item. Real stuff. I mean, this is absolute rubbish we ended up with. I'm trying desperately to find something and being like, oh, okay, hold up. Wait a minute. This is pretty good. I wish there was a way of like one quest reward I want from Act 6 is just to be able to forge items together. I do really like Path of Exile for your ability to like craft items. I've never really got into it, I'll be honest, but I am always impressed by how much more fun that makes finding items. So a few more points in Fire Mastery. I've continued to level up now. Level 49. Not too bad for this point in the game. Nice little shooting platform here. I say platform, it's the opposite of a platform. I'm shooting from the low ground to high. Oh, this guy's going to ruin it, isn't he? I just have to tank it best I can. But the damage output versus the creatures we're up against, pretty solid. The way I always think of it, because I was completely naive when I was younger and played this game, is because I used to like kill Diablo at level 22 and then couldn't understand why Nightmare was so difficult. You can almost within normal get to level 40. This is like when you're like running online. 40 to me is like a cutoff. Don't really want to go too far beyond that because it just takes too long. But then when you get to Nightmare, you can actually get up to like almost past level 70 pretty comfortably with that difficulty. And then from 70, you can zip through, get all the quest rewards, and then just find some spots to start farming. But there's nothing stopping you staying in Nightmare for a very long period of time. And we're doing very, very well considering we are probably 20 levels off the max we could be within this kind of area and still be competent. I'm not sure if I made any sense then, but it was too long and coherent a sentence for this point in the recording. Maybe we're just in a flow state. We've got there. I say flow state. I think I might have just gone the wrong way then. Annoying to get the rewards, to be honest, but I do need to trade in our Act 1 mercenary because she's been with us far too long within this act. And I need to stick to the rules of the run. I like a lot of these names. Wolfguard's a badass name. I always really like Wolfric for a name.
I'll put that to good use.
Who I think might be the protagonist in... I mean, this is obscure, but Myth 3, the Wolf Age? Is that Wolfric? Maybe the first time I heard that name. Badass name, though. If you're called Wolfric, well, congratulations. But also put a comment about what your life's been like with such a badass name and how badly you were bullied at school. Finally, we work our way up to an Amrune. Now, I make a bit of a mistake here, and I'm sorry. Am tier, I don't make a mistake on the rune word. I'm just not sure if I should have used it for this. Strength is probably the most overpowered rune word of all rune words. It's so good. It works for everyone. If you have to hit anything with a melee weapon, you should probably be using this on every difficulty. It's so good. We're going frenzy after literally just making it in a broadsword because I thought actually while I'm leveling up, I don't need the crushing blow, and the damage isn't great on the greatsword that I've got versus some of the other weapons that we've found. So I regret the decision, but well, we've got to live with it. We're maxing out our cash. Our inventory is looking, let's be honest, organized. I'm impressed. I tried to do a bit of leveling, find a few things. Found this death mask, 3 sockets. I'm not sure what to do with that. I actually have a lot of soul runes, so I might just put loads of damage reduction in it. Belt, to be honest, I'm going to really struggle to find a decent belt that improves upon the 3 resist. Plus 3 thorns on rust handle there. Not a weapon I've ever used before. And I must have run the Countess, I would say, 200 times in this entire video. Yeah, like you care. I'm even making like another lore rune word, which we already have, just because it has a little bit more defense on the circlet. Yeah. And, well, I suppose I can use it. It'd be really struggling, but you have this and I have that, and wait, what? Wouldn't it be better if... Anyway, edge is one of the most important things we want one of the am runes for. That completes the rune word edge, which gives us that highlighted 15% reduction. I'm really like off off the timing. Someone's criticized it before, but the problem is I'm watching it and then talking, but I love to like just rant about stuff and then have to go back. But anyway, we get reduced prices by having this bow equipped, and that's why I've got it. Paladin overpowered. Are you kidding me? Paladins have just got it so easy in this game. Wow, I'll tell you what, 14 fire resist and 18 resist in one amulet would be incredible. Paladin skills. Oh my goodness, Paladin, easy class. OP. Yeah, Paladins are just... I mean, look, start with a Paladin if you've not played the game before, and you'll think you're good at the game, and then play anything else and not be sure why it's so difficult. Come on, there's got to be something here. Oh, okay. Well, that's only a minor improvement to what we've got, but... Oh, this is not looking good. This just feel like I actually end up buying 2 more with the stuff I sold. What a waste. Well, I've got a little bit more magic find, and I need to be getting the experience anyway. I spent probably a lot of this video, I've got to say. I had to do this with a lot of the videos before, but this just felt very slow. Even like Raven only, much quicker at leveling, I'll be honest. Snothorn there. Oh, that is horrible. No one wants to see a Snothorn, especially not out in public. Few more levels up. We're actually up to 58 now. We found Withstand's Guard, which I love for a shield, by the way. I wish it had some native resistances or some sockets, but that block chance is exceptional. We can start maxing out Fire Mastery now. Enchant looking very intimidating. And just enjoying myself now. Zipping past things before they even get a chance to respond. Great to Anya. No need to overthink this at all. Just get the reward, get it done. Feel like we're running out of time. We're not running out of time. You know me. I like to take my time. But there's a huge amount of content to get through. I actually don't know with my first video, the Raven one, how I managed to time it. Like, I just put it together and it turned out to be that length. This one, I've tried, guys, but there's so much to see and do. Look at this background. It's glorious. So we're being chased by we're being hounded. Some lads from Liverpool. You want to buy me a drink, even though I'm with my boyfriend. It's not going to stop them. Old classic trick here. We're just trying to separate them. Oh dear. And the weakest is always the shortest scouse that's got the worst attitude.
Love, why are you ignoring me, love? Why are you doing this? You want to fight me?
My microphone actually can't always pick up the Scouse accent, at least the way I do it. It's very high pitched, and it's also very like guttural. You like meat? But it's a great, I mean, look, solid accent to learn.
Thanks.
Thanks. 1 potion. Use for that little lad. Not so tough without your mates. Now, the mates I am slightly more intimidated by, especially because one of them looks like he might have a aura. We want Talik, really, because he's the deal breaker for all of these fights. If we can take on Talik, we're fine. He's taking a decent amount of damage. The lightning is not great because we are going to be taking a lot of hits. Like, consistent damage. He also hits very hard. He looks so much like Prince Rurik, now I see it. Prince Rurik being from Guild Wars. That will be my next... well, I've got one other short video planned, but then my next video will be celebrating the Guild Wars remaster that's coming out. So I've already been playing with a lot of the guys on my Discord, and coincidentally the remaster happened to be coming out. A battle for the ages now. One man turned up to the fight appropriately dressed, and the other one ripped his shirt off. That's it. Nightmare Ancients. Wow, that was okay. And look, just to remind you how good the animation was, and how it doesn't even exist. What? Get him fired. Bring him back in, so I can fire him again. I think it's basically the only thing in the remaster I think is an oversight. 3 curses. Okay, look, we're gambling. That is good, by the way. I mean, look, maybe end of normal good. We're end of nightmare good. We need end of nightmare good now. We need +3 to 5 skills. Ooh, okay, that's nice. It's not as good as a dust. Let's get rid of it. We've got to stop being obsessed with crap. Come on, we just need a little bit of luck. I feel like I spent all my time gambling for +3 fire circlets. Oh my god, they're so expensive. Are you kidding? We did it. Dads, we did it. Is that almost the last one? Do you know, I almost accidentally sold it. Incredible. Incredible. Now, attacker takes damage 20. I remember at the beginning of the video saying, I'm not going to take anything with it. Forget that. Forget me. I have got no integrity as a channel run. So just unsubscribe. Oh, nice. Little level up there. Change the subject. It's sort of level 61. We're getting there. We're getting to 69. I'm not concerned about this at all. I think we are very well leveled for this point in the game. I mean, luckily you're enjoying yourselves enough to maybe... Some of you have questioned, does the resolution look slightly strange? Guys, I've got no idea what happened. I think the problem is I switch between games every now and then. And at that point I must have taken a break, come back just to do this, the last quest. And the resolution's got really messed up. It ends up getting even worse. But then by the end, we've only got a few chapters of this, and then it will improve, I promise you. But it wouldn't be one of my videos without some fundamental issues. So now we've got some terrible black stripes. My monitor, this laptop, is ridiculously long. I don't know why they've made it so tall. It's nice, but it looks like an old CRT monitor. So I'm having to change the native resolution a lot, and every now and then just likes to change it back. Just like a little bit of an FU to me for buying a laptop of a certain size, and then opting against utilising the full size. But for YouTube, it's just a bit annoying. So bear with me. The quality will not diminish in any other way other than my commentary. Actually, saying that, I should have another swig of whiskey and then really lose it, lose it for hell. I'm looking at my health bar there, and I'm getting concerned, but I shouldn't be because I'm in control of the situation. But it doesn't feel that comfortable. One stray bolt. Hengist here, I should have mentioned the fact Hengist is a really cool name because from history, Hengist and Horsa, I think, were the first Vikings that came over to Britain. I'm getting there. I should maybe have researched this beforehand. But what's interesting about Hengist and Horsa is no one's really sure if it's two guys, one called Hengist and one called Horsa, or if it was Hengist on a horse. That's how bad the history books were, or at least when history was written. They weren't really sure, which is cool. So you can make up your own mind whether... I can't imagine Hengist having a horse on a Viking ship. But stranger things have happened. A little bit of history there for you, like you wanted it, because I know with the irritation of the resolution changes, that's what you want from this content, is to be poorly educated. You're going to say that to someone, they'll be like, no, that's not true. We've completely skipped past the fact that actually Bartek and the boys were very easy. Venom Lord, you got nothing. At least on their own, they've got nothing. Here's where we fight a few more at the same time, and that's where the Inferno damage can kind of stack up a little bit more. But actually, he's got decent resists. You can see 75. I think we're okay. Hello? I think we're okay. Are you okay? Hengist okay. Good. Not much longer, Hengist, and you can go back to the campfire and start turning that rotisserie chicken again. But until that point, I need you to help me herd some dinosaurs. Hengist is very, very bad at herding dinosaurs. Oh, look at this final boss. Let's see if he can take on one. I need to just make sure I'm tanking that decrepify spell. I don't think he's getting a hitting because he's getting stunned, even by one. Come on, Hengist. Okay, he's doing it. Yeah, I mean, now I'm the one getting cursed, and he's the one getting stunned. Wow, look how much darker it was in the original. Wow, that is a very, very different mood. Yeah, I mean, it looks better. I don't know if it actually looks better. Whoa, Hengist looks very different from one to the other. Yeah, it's weird that they've made that decision to make it so much brighter. Diablo 3 or what? But the most important thing is that Hengist looked very different. Yeah, it looks more like a kind of, I don't know, Scottish stereotype. We're in Hengist's final battle arena before I retire him for good. How's he getting on? Is a real question. The damage is there. That's almost all I need to see. Some damage at this point is enough damage. I'm going to give him the armor. I was confused when I watched this back, but of course, the spirit shroud that we picked up has got cannot be frozen on. Otherwise, like I said, I think it's got +1 to skills, which is why I've been wearing it. It's no Silks of the, I want to say Silks of the Vixter, but I always get it wrong. Skin of the Viper Mage. I always get that the wrong way around. We've got some interesting stuff here. I think it might be time to pull out the old strength. I did do the old Soulful Soul, all that damage reduction, and he's still got that cannot be frozen. Oh, that's a lot of vines. Not something you thought you'd hear someone shout today. But yeah, that is a lot of vines. Whoa, a lot of vines. I don't mind the vines so much. I don't really want to get clipped by them, because I always find they're quite good. When the Hireling has the tanker festering appendage, he kind of manages it okay, but I don't want to be in a pitched battle with 3 angry tendrils unless I pay for it. I'm hovering by the portal. Hoku here, he's doing okay. Whoa, and I tell you what, when that hits, that crushing blow hits, that is insane. A little bit more magic fine than we deserve, in the hopes that we can kind of achieve something. Oh, absolutely nothing. The circlet, yeah, I mean, come on, it's just not going to have anything. If that was lifesteal, maybe there's something there, but otherwise we're done with the fun part of the game. Now it's hell. We're in actual hell. We're in a living hell right now. But before we get there, that's not me killing Hell and Dariel. It's not going to be that quick, brothers, I'm afraid. We're getting some levels. Getting into hell and being early 60s, probably not great. Few interesting items. Juanin's there. Yeah, not great. The items weren't fantastic, I'll be honest. I was really struggling. I found actually quite a lot of unique items. The problem is none of them were actually that good. Like this, Gloom Belt, that's not bad. 15 to Vitality. It's got some increased maximum mana as well. But, I mean, look, I just don't need any of that. I need the resistances I've got from my belt. Did find Skin of the Flayed one, which is quite decent. But, I mean, if it's ethereal, maybe. After all of that, at least I had some cash in the bank. So it's time to squander it on fruitless exercises, on gambling. Oh, 94. I mean, at this point, we're getting some pretty decent mods. Oh, +2. Wow. I mean, that is good. If that was +2 fire. Oh, wow. Quite a few risks. Okay, that's not bad. 26 resist all. That is actually very decent. Yeah, that's better than the want skills. We need that extra resistances. I mean, really, at this point, why don't you just give me Mara's? I've gambled so much. They must have one knocking around. Some. Oh, okay, that might be better. That's a decent combination. Oh, I don't know. I like the resists. There's a few annoying decisions to make there. So look, Withstands has done us very well, but I need the resists, my dudes. It's getting tough. Shale, Eth, 2-socket Grim Shield is the best shield really to be asking for this. I've now got Cannot Be Frozen twice, but I do have that 25 resistances on this one and some very decent block chance. Nice to have some extra magic find. Nice to get some sorceress items. It's not going to happen. I decide for Sharon, a hireling I would never normally get. But she's got very decent resists, and of course she's got airport company rank as well. Let's see how we fare in hell. I mean, I'm terrified. Even without, at this point normally I'd be definitely rocking a spirit, just for that extra fast cast rate, which makes teleporting around so much safer. But even without that, the mobility is still very, very decent. I'm not really running out of mana too much. We're not finding hell too difficult. I mean, look, so this is very, very early point in the campaign. I'm assuming Act 1 will be quite easy. Act 2 will be okay. And then from then on, the real Dark Souls will begin. You know, I wish I just knew the layout of that area. I've wasted so much of my time. I'm not sure if we're going to rescue Deckard Cain. He owes me a lot of money at this point. What we are going to do is continue into the barracks. This is risky, the barracks, because it's quite confined spaces, and there are a lot of heroes within that confined space. Straight to the jail. Nice. Do not pass go. And actually, we zipped through it very, very quickly and efficiently. Now, the problem I'm coming up against here is I want to be killing these guys in 2 or 3 hits, and I'm not doing any damage at all. Problem we have, we've got a fire spect Sharon, who's using a fire bow with enchant, and nearly everyone here is immune to fire. So what we need is someone different. What did you say your name was again? I'm not saying that again. I'm not getting demonetized for saying that. Actually, throw the scroll of Infus on the floor. Yeah, to hell with Deckard Cain. We've always pretty flush with cash anyway. So let's see what difference this Cold Arrow does. Oh, wow. Okay. Cold Arrow is very decent. I mean, hell, like I said before, by the time we get to hell, the actual freezing effect just doesn't last very long at all. But we are finally doing some decent damage to the immunes. And if we need to switch back to fire for Dariel, then so be it. But I actually think, with a combination of her being slightly slowed by the cold skills... Haha, you missed. Suck. She needs her glasses on. She's got no chance of hitting me from that range. Okay. Fair play. Fair play, yep. You got me. She must have put her glasses on. God, she looks almost metallic. Terrifying. I've got to be super careful here. We can kite pretty effectively. This to me is like my now preferred way of teleporting. I've done this a lot in Nightmare, farming her. So I'm getting pretty used to it. By the time she closes the distance and potentially then uses a poison spell, I'm already behind her. Which means a lot of the poison then gets diffused into an area that I'm not so worried about. That's an example of me getting hit by it twice. As soon as I say that, of course. But we did so well. And in fact, we defeated her pretty comfortably. And that is, oh my god, the worst drops I've ever had from her in my life. Andre, you gotta go, love. I'm sorry, it's too hot for you here. You need to be unceremoniously stripped, sent off into the desert to walk home. Now look, there's a few options here. Holy Freeze being one of them. It might actually be, I mean, Holy Freeze is an option just to get to Juriel, and then from there, I don't know why I'm speaking so staggered, because I'm kind of thinking about what I'm saying. I can't talk and think at the same time by the sounds of it, which explains a lot of the commentary. But I think Holy Freeze could be interesting, at least. And I also think a Strength Rune Word, it's amazing that you can basically make this in anything, would also be a benefit. The reason why I'm in Act 4 now, Cannot be explained. I'm just zipping around. I do a lot of farming and stuff. I think I probably just found the rune, having done some farming runs. I'm kind of zipping in and out of different difficulties. And here I can feel like this feels slow, really quite slow. By this point in hell, we should be zipping around with some faster cast rate. Otherwise, this is pretty horrific. It's fast enough to be able to get past most of the foes, and we do have Holy Freeze as well, which is kind of slowing down anyone who wants to get too close. This is one of the scariest places to teleport, by the way, especially in hell, because you get very easily. Yeah, I mean, there's so many hero packs, very easily bashed. I'm hoping this is the way. It's not the way. This is not the way. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Actually, fine. We want it to be no one up here. Perfect. Okay, Act 2. It's a fun act. I play sorceress all the time. That's probably why I find Act 2 so much fun, by the way, is because I get through it so much quicker than most other classes. I was going to hope we can farm a little bit in the Claw Viper Temple level 2, but man, there's no chance. He's getting stun locked to oblivion. Oh, look at this. Incredible. We might actually hang around. Is he going to be able to take them out? He is! Laharis the Legend. Incredible. We need to pretty much get out there as soon as he explodes, because that poison's going to rip him a new one. Ooh, I'll grab those boots, though. Come on, try resist boots. Spoiler, they weren't try resists. They were 1 resist and not very high. Arcane Sanctuary, though. First direction, not correct. Second, this reminds me again of someone saying, I think your commentary might be lagged behind. It's because I react so slowly to the things that are happening. Quickly run around here and grab what I can. Save and exit. Third time's the charm. Third time is the charm. Actually, it's not too busy here as well. Do I even need to kill him? Let's get out of there. Nobody cares. We know where to go from this point, and that's the most important thing. Laharis looks very sick as well. To Talrash's tomb. Weirdly, I find it straight away as well. Normally, it takes me 6 other tombs to find the one I need, and if it's not the star one, which I know is at the top. What it will likely take me is a long time to be able to uncover the location of where to stab the staff. Actually, I thought we might teleport into it now. This little angle's generally a good sign. What you really need to see is the level change. That's when you know you're in the right direction. Okay, this is very busy. Part of me is thinking we should just save and exit here. Yeah. And actually, a save and exit, come back. Vindication, guys. Empty. Perfect. Was for an absolute coward, a weak coward like myself. And then this absolute madness happened. Presumably, in some kind of like Aladdin-themed episode, Laharis has turned into nothing but a spear. This has never happened before. At least I don't think it has. Maybe I would have remembered it. It's like I'm following him now. But if anything, the dehumanization of Laharis has got to an all-time high, as he is literally nothing but a walking spear to me now. Anyway, look, drink up. Let's coat you in some fine oil. And let's send you. Has he come back? He still hasn't. So I actually feel quite alone. The damage output is just ridiculous. And actually, my man is low now. I was very lucky to be bashed out of the way. Can't even tell if he's alive or dead because I can't see his body getting. Oh, I'd love it if this game had physics, by the way. Okay, I do need to tank a lot of this. Let's have a little bit more. I've just realised I didn't give him any cold resistance that he's going to need for this. But he has very high resists, but the thawing potion gets him up to 85, which means a lot of that cold damage is kind of mitigated completely. Oh dear. Oh dear. Quick. Quick. Does that not work from that range? Oh my goodness me. That felt unfair. I think I F6'd it quickly enough. Now I realise, let's never try that again. So yeah, lads, with many of the bosses here, I just had to grin and bear it for as long as we could. When the crushing blow hits, well, wow, okay, that is one distracting thickness. Looking good. Crushing blow when it hits, man is doing the Lord's work. Unfortunately, it only works up to a certain point. In hell, 50%. Oh, okay. Even that scared me. But this was very much a back and forth. And by back and forth, I mean to town, to heal up and come back. So it took a long time, which didn't feel like it needed to. But it did. Oh my goodness me! Even by the end, I felt I was in some trouble. Oh, that is dreadful. Well, to be honest, that's actually better than Andariel. But for quest rewards, you really hope to get one decent unique. Like a decent nightmare unique would be fantastic. If not, just have something to look at. With the charm, because I know this is a hell level charm, so the item level will be high. My great plan was to re-roll it to something incredible. But for whatever reason, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone can explain to me. Is this bad RNG? But these all seem really low level. Maybe that is just bad luck. Razor's Edge there. Ethereal. I don't think it's naturally ethereal. But that's an incredibly high damage output. And he's got Deadly Strike and Open Wounds. Wow, that is an extremely solid weapon. I always want to hold on to that just to give it to someone else. For a druid, pretty decent. Anyway, onwards. Oh my god. God, please spare me. We're back in the Spider Forest. I'm not even going to talk to the Irishman. He can go back to hell that he came from. What am I doing? No, I don't want to do this. Scorch. Come on, Scorch. Old reliable. Give him Colwyn's point. At least at least his spaghetti arms have bulked up since we last saw him. We need to grab that chest as soon as possible. I don't want to hang around. We're zipping. We're zopping. We're bipping. And I think, well, it looked like an opening there. Okay, this is big. Can we telekinesis? We cannot. We can get the gold. It's not the range. Wow, okay. It feels like we're very close. One solid teleport. Grab it. We're out. Start again. That is a great way to start, by the way. That can be an absolute brutal one. This is looking scary as well. Oh my goodness me. This is why people hate this game. Look at these two. What are these mad lads up to? I think, again, the only other time I've ever seen a hero group like this, once before when I played with my friend years and years ago, I saw some hero nests. I think the only other time was the Raven one, which this is kind of a tribute to in many ways, all the way to hell as we're doing. This is a very decent find, by the way. I found another 2-socket one. I mean, the crushing blow is the important thing, but it's nice to have some decent damage there. I found a 5-socket crystal sword and a 4-socket. The 4-socket, chef's kiss, exactly what we need. I think it's probably worth trying to get that as soon as possible. The 5-socket one is one that actually I try and look for quite often and that can't find. But Spirit Rune Word, plus tool skills, 31 is an okay roll for faster cast rate. There's some other nice little bits and pieces in there at all, like the vitality and mana. Should we give it to Scorch? I mean, it's going to up his damage massively, actually, isn't it? I say massively. He does so little damage. I mean, I'm just admiring his knee action there. Trying to get him out to try and do something. Come on, he can't hit, he can't kill. He actually was okay against those skeletons. We are desperately trying to level up with him just to make any of this a little bit more palatable. But it is rough, I'll be honest. Great Marsh is so often souls filled. The best thing we can do is just hope to dear God that we don't run into a pack and get slammed by them. The fact we've been cursed now, I mean, I'm out. There's no way I can survive a hit with being cursed. I ended up I found quite a lot of charms. Trying to sift through them, really. None of them really helping me at all. The 16 to mana is a nice one to have. I mean, even the Bloodband is nothing there, really. We are pretty starved of kind of really decent OP items. It'd be nice to get kind of a best in slot at this point. Mom and Dad? Mom? Dad? Boil themselves again. In this environment, I don't blame them at all. But actually, finding the brain, I mean, Lamb Essence Tome was harder to find. I actually probably ran this about 6 or 7 times. It was so easy to get by the time I finally clicked on it. Yeah, I didn't have enough room in my inventory. It was so annoying. Just admiring some of the sewerage here. I really like the way they've done this, by the way. The ambiance of the dead body parts in the swamp. But yeah, it just looks super cool. When we found the suit, this was like very early on. We were having a lot of luck. And look, there's no one here either. Sometimes there can be some like undead creatures. Now this is going to be the real fun part of the game. There's a few like barriers I know we're going to go up against. It pretty much is all the major events that we need to. This little like spot here in the corner had potential. The annoying thing is normally there's a lot of ads just around the side here, like casting meteors down at you or blizzard or whatever. I end up actually getting fatty here just because I just got a level up, and might take a while to get a level up. So I thought just that little extra damage output might help us over the line here. I really like this room, by the way. It's very cool. I do not like any other part of it, especially the people in it, probably myself included at this point. This took an extremely large amount of time and was very, very difficult and unpleasant, but it wouldn't be one of my runs unless I suffered, as I have done now. All I need is for him to die, and we can progress to Mephisto. And actually, we were doing very well. The danger of all of these guys is they love to self-heal. Thank goodness he opted against it. We have Calypso. There's no jokes to be had. We're not pissing like we did in normal. Did all this Lily's silly face in the Horadric cube. He's so funny when he does that. No. This is the fun we're having. No fun. 0 life, 0 fun. The good thing about that is I did manage to hit the compelling orb, which is the most important part. But I had to watch it from my cold, lifeless body. But here we are, level 3. Do we need to get... I think we just zippity-zoppity, bippity-boppity. Not loving it. Not loving the guys being down there, I'll be honest. Is that a restart? I think it might have to be. We're going to be taking damage. Oh, you fat... Is his name? Fayette? Okay, zippity-zoppity, bippity-boppity. This feels better. A lot less noise there. Let's get going. Whoa! My god, the damage is just insane. He's dead already as well. Okay, this is just going to be horrible, isn't it? Can we do a moat trick type thing here? I don't know if he's going to... We can just zip around. At least we're not getting hit in melee combat. This does not feel possible. We're just taking so much damage. With the amount of mana I've got, we can just zip around quite a lot. I don't know if it's worth me ever really trying to tank it. He just took an absolute fireball there. A lightning ball to the face. Are we actually doing that much damage to him at all? Oh, Bliss. Oh my god. Overpowered. He's learned. And look, thank ye gods. There's some trick to getting him stuck in this little area here. Without this, not a chance. So what I did notice is the static field, I think because it's a high enough level, because he's such a high level now as a mercenary, does actually stretch that far. The first half of his health was actually quite good fun. It went down maybe in 5 minutes. Still a long time, considering you could just cast static field, 50 times that we would have got there. However, the second half took about 10 minutes. It was horrible, if not longer. It was miserable. So I put my magic fine gear on. We've just got to get a few more hits on him. He's managed to somehow... Oh, that blizzard is just unbelievable. This guy... I don't normally get triggered in this game, but this is so ridiculous. Why should Blizzard just kill you immediately? It's not like I've got no resistance to go... It's doing like 500 damage a hit. For those who didn't even realise this guy could cast Blizzard, he can. And now where has he gone? This is super risky. The problem is I can't put my gold skin on. That's part of the reason why that Blizzard was doing so much. I've got 35 less resist. Because I can't wear my armour. He's tucked himself in this bloody corner. You've just got to be super careful not to aggravate the rest of that room. Hello? Of course. Absolute twat. I don't want him on this side. Oh no. Oh no. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Look, the good thing, the thing we can hold on to, guys, he's almost dead. We just need to believe in the power of friendship. And hope he doesn't cast Blizzard on us too much. Okay, it looks like we're okay. I can't see any other, like, Night Lords down here. Other ghouls. Oh my god, that is so overpowered. Where is he now? That Blizzard is just insane. Oh, here we go. Just got to heal up. Just got to heal up. Let's get back. Okay, we just need to reset. Look, he's almost dead. We just need to... What? Why has he got his health back? Oh my god, he's healed. He's healed him, hasn't he? So this is a mechanic I didn't even realise was a thing. But yes, they can heal Mephisto. This absolute knob down the bottom, this muscle arm knob, can actually... Act 3 is the worst act. Did you realise the main boss can get healed? So yeah, I ended up finally getting him trapped in this location, which worked. And he's basically back to full health again. So another 15 minutes of my life I'm never getting back. Luckily this time I had my Magic Find gear on. Well, some of it at least, not all of it. But there's no way I was going to go back to town and risk it again. Even though he's so close to death, you can see, even at 8 times speed, how long this took. And with his death, I wasn't sure if I even wanted to check. Broadsword, are you kidding me? Is there anything there? God, that is appalling. We're not quite there yet, guys, but we're very close. We have one very short act in 4, and we have one slightly longer, but still pretty short act in 5. There are only real 3 hurdles now to go. One being Diablo, we've got the Ancients, and then we've got Bale, and of course the waves that come before him. But the waves are easy. We can cheese them. This was the combination of maybe 2 evenings of Magic Find level grinding. Some incredible stuff, by the way. Blade of Alibaba. Look at that Magic Find, 67%. Incredible. You can see I've got loads of my Magic Find gear on here as well. But we found some interesting stuff. Unfortunately, this isn't the lidless wall, but it still looks the same. It looks very cool, I've got to say. I love the fact that it looks like that. Parent Shard, I don't think I've ever had before. I know I mentioned the fact there are some uniques I'd never seen before. I don't think I've ever seen this. The life and mana is actually pretty good. And the +1, +2 summoning skills, the necro skills. Meek Scraper, absolute classic. It's a very, very solid polearm, by the way. Loads of great stuff on that. The Coif of Glory I thought might have contextual use just in the blind. 40 life on Sanders, always nice. And Spirit Forge, again, this is the one I did not recognise at all. 2 sockets, 83 life. Put 2 rubies in there. You've got a lot more life. And that feels pretty good. There's a little bit of extra fire damage, which is maybe annoying. Would have been nice if it was another element. We are currently rocking the Iron Pelt. We're going for the Soul. Maximum, like, damage reduction on this guy at the moment. And we've got these 3 unique rings, all from Andariel. Oh my god, okay, fine, Nagel, that's fine. It's an improvement. Oh my god, come on! Why do I get the Stone of Jordan on the Poison Creeper? Oh my god, okay. So we have had, what, 6, 7 pieces of unique jewellery after a lot of farming, by the way. And look, I was doing more and more farming, trying to get up where I possibly could. I've got to say, he was pretty good. You can see here, I mean, this is Hell, Act 2. He's doing fine. And another Catherine's there, I'm guessing, to throw in the bin. Some interesting items. The Tolwa here has that amplified damage. Radamant, to be honest, I think a lot of it was level based. That's why I was finding it easier, because I had pretty much the same equipment. But we're starting to crack through some of the important quests to help us really just get over the line. And I really like the little reflection on the light of the candle here. I think it looks so cool. So look, you might already see where we got to. We got a muscle man. So look, Act 4 and 5 to be completed by the muscle men. This is, look, it's good news, right? In many ways. His damage against the Venom Lords was pretty abysmal, so I was immediately quite concerned. But then I realised we don't even need to worry about it. Not interested. No, not stopping. Sorry, can't. Hi, sorry, bye. We're not waiting around here at all. We're going to crack through it. We are zippity-zooing very quickly, by the way. In part thanks to the Spirit Rune word. So fast, in fact, that even these guys, these lightning boys, don't even have a chance. in between the grabbing of waypoints, we were leveling, we were farming, we were getting items like rune bows that we were never going to use because we were never going to see them again. What I did find was, which was really cool, I think it was the meteor that was just like ticking over time. It's giving me that really awesome like orb around me. How cool was that? We are so flush with cash. It's spilling on the floor. I found this corpse morn as well. I actually really love this armor. I think it's so cool. And we found Skulder's Ire. Two incredible armors, by the way. Not massively useful for me. The +1 skills is actually pretty good on Skulder's Ire, but what I really need, and what I should have done really is, and I didn't bother socketing nearly enough, is I should have socketed that and just put something in it. What I really need to do, what they need to do in this game is just up the rune drop rate. It's so abysmal. It's actually just not fun. But anyway, look, what is fun is having alcohol blocking the way until I show him my lady orbs. But what I can do is spend a lot of money while I'm here. So, no, 2 traps is no good. That's decent. 25 damage reduction is not bad. What? I don't know what happened there. My mouse just immediately pulled towards. That's okay. Damage reduced as well. So that I've since been educated that is just physical damage reduction. I'm fine with that. My resists look terrible. We're 2 perfect rubies in Spirit Forge. It's actually giving him some very decent hit points now. Best resistances I could come up with is barely above 0. The speed. Oh my god, the need for speed is here. Let's just hit them. We'll manage the issue when it's when it's become an issue. In fact, let's go up. Let's keep going up. Let's get them all out. I mean, he is really struggling. There's a little area here we might be able to. Oh my god, this is going to be unbearable, isn't it? Let's get the last guy out as well. Actually, it's really quiet around here. Okay, this might be what we need to do, is just clear out these few guys. So we end up getting the Infectious Souls out. And it suddenly becomes very, very busy. We are taking some shots. So actually, most of these creatures were okay to kill, unless they're immune to fire, which is pretty much everything. But all of those like floaty boys, nothing. They got nothing on me. Even at this difficulty, it was fine. But the Inferno, man, was so difficult. For whatever reason, the Infectious Souls ended up getting pulled down. There's a few other Venom Lords just above us now. But we finally got him down. So that's 1 down. And actually, I would have thought that he would be one of the harder creatures to have to fight. It took a long time clearing that little area down there. But Lord Deceased now, isolated. We've got a really good chance of assassinating him. I don't want to go too far, because I've actually lured a lot of creatures up around that corner. And the further I go up there, the more chance there are that some of those are going to join the fight. And I've spent enough time killing things down in this area. It took me about 10, 15 minutes just to clear this big area down here. Now we've got him, surely. No, not this way. Not this way. I've not cleared down here. Oh, we've almost got him. Just assassinate him. Assassinate. We got him. Forget the hatchet, dude. You don't need it. And the Grand Vizier of Chaos, this is a real, true assassination. Now, these guys weren't immune to fire, so they were taking quite a lot of damage from me. But they were draining the mana so quickly. And that's it. All we needed to do was one final slice of the sword through whatever kind of weird floating skull head the Grand Vizier has. And death has found him. And here we are against the Big D himself. Rocking kind of green. Like a jungle kind of camo green. Very nice. I preferred him in the Sonic the Hedgehog brown. Bit more like Shrek than Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe the Grinch. We need to be careful not to put too many suggestions out here, because you never know how depraved the company might get. Saw they were doing a, not Witcher, Assassin's Creed crossover with Attack on Titan. It was so tenuous. Oh dear. Sorry. I'm not concentrating at all. With Crushing Blow and with enough perseverance, actually, Diablo was okay. Lovely for him to drop so many blues from the bin, but who cares? We're on to Act 5. Now, there are only 2 challenges really left in front of us. There's a few other little bits and pieces we can get distracted with on the way. We've already got our Act 5 mercenary, so we don't really need to worry about rescuing anyone here. What we do probably want to do, unfortunately, is just do a little bit of leveling up. And even on hell difficulty, even though he's immune to fire, we're doing okay. This feels good, guys. We've got a really good chance here, I think. Just a little bit of experience. I say a little bit, you know what I'm like. This was many days of playing this game to get through this. I did it. The idea was always to try and do this to hell, but I don't really love splitting my videos up. I think sometimes people want to watch it all the way to hell anyway. This is going to be a longer video and maybe slightly more compressed in many ways. But I do like the idea of just doing a slightly different format every now and then, and I like showcasing the full journey. But man, this game on hell is next level stuff. And I tell you what I'm looking for now, and you'll be pleased. Lower resist. Now, I've already fought Talik at this point and the Ancients, and it didn't go very well. Level 1 lower resist, it's not good enough, guys. I've done the math, I know what I'm doing here. You've got to trust me. I'm leveling. I'm farming for equipment. I'm doing everything I need. I'm getting more experience. I'm desperate to get through the game. I even found Mavina's Caster, which I think is a very cool bow. I don't think I found it before. Increased attack speed, fires magic arrows. Why they didn't just put 2 to Amazon skills on that, I don't know. I think it's because the set comes with a +3 when you complete it, but yeah, it needs more. Level 2 low resist. Now I think you can get up to level 3, but I was shopping for a while just to find this. It literally in between almost every magic run, I was going back to town, shopping, having a look through. This is quite cool. How many suicide bombers can you spot in that picture? Well, we're 76. I can't be bothered to get any higher than this, guys. It was pretty difficult to get to this point, I'll be honest. We want to try and max out block. 155 is a very solid dexterity for hitting very close to max block. We're putting a lot of points into telekinesis. We put a few more points into energy shield. Actually, I forgot how much it tails off. It's not 5% every level, only at the beginning. We have basically opened a bar in the bottom left corner of the Ariat Summit, where we are hoping desperately that Talik is not going to be the end of this run, because he was so tough. Mad Orc, he's got nothing. He actually is pretty tough. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a tough guy. It doesn't help the fact that he's being augmented with an aura. By the looks of it, maybe more than one aura. I know, it's this shout aura that looks so similar to concentration, is it? Talik's the guy really so he's immune to fire. I don't understand. Why has this happened? Why is he immune to fire still? So at level 2, resist all minus 37%. He has 110 fire resist. 110 minus 37 is 73. I should break his immunity. Someone explain to me why I'm so thick. What is wrong? Why? What? Huh? What? I still don't understand what happened here. It's not going to stop me. What it is going to do is really demoralize me, make me really sad. Wow, and literally all it takes is one Might Aura, and he can one-shot with one Whirlwind. So look, we're having to re-roll a few times, just in the hopes that we get decent rolls. We just want Talik to not have too much. I think... Oh, he was cursed. Just immediately death. I'm still putting low resist, because what else am I going to do? I'm basically walking around for no reason. I thought, oh, maybe he was somehow elementally enchanted that gave him a little bit more than 110. Nope. This is the best combination we've seen so far. Teleportation shouldn't matter. Magic resistant. I'm not even doing any magic, mate. Easy. I abridged that fight. It was very stressful and very painful, but I didn't want you to have to sit through 15 minutes of it, of me teleporting away and healing. And there he is, the big member, the 2 Coke cans, as he's known. Maybe even 3, when it was fully... I'm not going to go there. Someone's casting Blizzard. Literally gives me the shivers, post-traumatic shivers. And thrown it... Oh, we've got souls. Can we do it? I'm out. I made that mistake before, trying to persevere through souls. It's just not worth it. I think maybe that was with Poison Dagger. Poison Dagger was extremely difficult to get here, so that's kind of why I persevered with it. But this was a much better roll, just a few undead. which wasn't a problem at all. We've still got this lower resist wand. Maybe we should actually be using this. It's definitely going to up his damage. Although, these guys look like they're taking a lot of damage from me anyway. If we can get low resist cast, zip in, and do God's work. I just need to distract them. Hit me! This is going well. He does have that awful aura. But luckily, it's gone. Easy. So we've been poisoned already. We've lured a few of those skelly boys out. We're whipping through this as quickly as we can. The end is so close now, guys. Look at this. Oh my god. What? FaZe Clan? You kidding me? I'm locked in at this point, lads. At this point, what more do you want from me? I always say lads and feel a bit bad because I know there's about 1.9% of my audience is female, so God bless you for putting up with my absolute nonsense. Achmel the Cursed, yes. His defeat is a real moment. There's enough space in this area for me to lure all of these guys out. Actually, this is hell difficulty. We are carving those guys up. I was amazed. I mean, look, the Hydras dish out a massive amount of damage. But who cares when everyone's already dead? Just zip out of there. We're on to wave 4 already. We've got to be pretty careful with these Venom Lords. Now look, they aren't immune to fire, as you might expect. They do have quite high fire resist, however. I'll be honest, it wasn't that noticeable. Look at the damage this guy's doing. All I'm saying is, there are people who do these runs and have hirelings. I mean, that much damage from a hireling. What's the point in having any other skill? This is incredible. This guy's a war god. I'm just following around. Admittedly, he's got a very high enchant on him, but I do feel like mercenaries make this game very easy, so enjoy the fact they're in the game and make the most of them, guys, because they're all viable in many ways, except for the Act 3 ones, which are trash. But look, lure the dinosaurs out. We're up to Bale. What's he got? What's Big Al got? He's got some pretty big punches. But to be honest, it's just a matter of time. I'm not going to mess around here at all. The trick is for me to zip in like it was in Nightmare, maybe reposition slightly. And I'm going big here, guys. This is a very exciting moment. It's time to meet our son. Igthal and I have had a son, and he is the most unattractive creature on the planet. He wasn't born with any skin, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean we don't love him. But what this does mean is I'm doubled in the amount of people who can help me, and I can enchant more than one creature, which I thought would be quite fun, just for the last bit of the fight anyway. It takes a bit of damage, but actually he's doing okay. Beautiful, passionate, family moment for us all to share, as we all, with our enchanted weapons, other than myself of course, slash apart the very, very final boss on this epic journey. I'm not even going to look up at him, looking down at him. Incredible. And there we are, guys. A full journey from normal to hell. Mercenaries, using only mercenaries to defeat every single creature that possibly comes my way. And look, just enough room to take that item with us. And we're getting out of here. Forget the rest. I never want to buy or sell another item again. So look, Blood Golem managed to get a job cleaning dishes in a bar nearby. Igthal and I unfortunately did split up. He's barred from this particular establishment for not adhering to the dress code. And he was caught stealing Tekka Kane's underwear as well. As winter draws in, I hope this video provided you some comfort as you spend some time with your family over this season. Thank you as always for watching. 1 year since I've been posting on YouTube, and what a journey it's been. So many challenges. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I love to hear your comments on what I've done right and wrong and what other games you'd love me to play. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.
I'm gonna party like it's $9.99.